Hello and welcome to episode 55 of the ReelTok Podcast. I am Cam, joined by my lovely co-hosts Tyler, Seth, and George. We got this new feature. You can see our social media. So I believe these are our TikTok handles right here. So if you'd like to follow us and you don't, and you're on YouTube and you can see our handles, go give us a follow there. We have a, kind of mediocre episode this week. Nothing crazy. I mean, I want to not mediocre, but just nothing crazy this week. We're kind of doing catch up, I think, is what I'd call it.
A lot of new movie releases that weren't the most anticipated, but Bottoms I think was in general. But we're just late to the game on Bottoms.
Also, you guys were complaining about not being able to see Dumb Money in theaters, and I checked like New York Times, and it's nowhere.
Yeah, Dumb Money's
so weird.
Was this like a limited release I didn't know about?
Yeah, I mean it's playing near me, but like only like in the city. But like the cast is deep. Like the 10th billed person on the cast is like someone you would know their name. So it's like kind of crazy that it's such a small release.
A24 or is it like a
small?
I
don't think so.
No, it's Sony.
But it came out on a weekend that's just like not competitive at all. So you'd think they would put it like bigger because I feel like it definitely could have done well. I don't know. Movies like Expend4bles always have those like cult followings that are going to see stuff no matter what. But yeah, we'll get into it.
Expend4bles.
True.
Yeah, I mean, and it's a good cast, but A24 would not produce this kind of movie, so that was a dumb question.
Dumb question.
We're playing catch up this week. Got a whole lot of trailers. We've kind of been off for the last couple of weeks. We've been doing a lot of like fun bonus episode type things. Where last week we talked M Night with the looks like a pod, or it looks like a movie pod. So we've been doing episodes like that recently. So we're missing some new releases here and there, but we'll get all caught up. There's a lot. So we have Bottoms, we have Dumb Money, Expend4bles, Expend4bles. We have some Ahsoka. I believe George can talk half of what's it called?
No One Will Save You.
No One Will Save You. Yeah, you can talk half of that. I think he got halfway through. So a lot of movies to catch up. I have a fun little story about the movie A Million Miles Away. That's a new one on Prime Video. Pay your actors and writers, but yeah, go watch it.
Also Jeopardy.
Yeah, and then we have some movie news. Which the fun thing this week, I was bored and I don't know, I wanted something kind of fun. I didn't tell you guys the news. Ooh, you guys can like live react, so you can't see the news. You'll just have to live react as I read it off. But not really a big news week.
Every other piece of news you tell is gonna be real, and every other one's gonna be fake.
I'm gonna make one up.
Two truths and a lie.
You have to tell me which one's bullshit. And then at the very end we'll be playing some Jeopardy. It'll be George, Seth, and Tyler facing off again. Honestly, I need to go find that because I forget where it was posted. I believe
it's in our Patreon. You'll be able to find it while one of us is reviewing something.
Perfect.
Did you look at it already?
No, I haven't looked at it yet.
I wonder if it's the same categories. I want that fucking actor mashup name again because
don't.
I'm dialed in now. Now I'm dialed in.
Okay, perfect.
I studied every actor potential mashup.
Shout out again, Isaac Hirschberger for creating that. But yeah, let's just get right into it. As always, we'll start off with a little how have we been. So Seth, how are you?
I'm good. I'm all right. Pretty busy week. We didn't record last week, did we? No.
Nope.
Last week was your birthday.
We did the M Night.
Yeah.
Already forgetting.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. 25 last week, which was nice.
Old. Might as well just be in the grave already. Ha ha.
Am I second oldest here? Am I?
You're second. No, you're second youngest. I mean, sorry, second youngest.
You're second youngest.
Oh.
You and Cam are close-ish, and me and George are close-ish, and then there's like a 2-year gap between us.
Yeah. I didn't really do much for it, to be fair. Just stand. I don't really care about my own birthday anymore. It doesn't really interest me, like doing things for it.
Facts.
Me and Anna just watched some films. Like, I tried to pick some films that she would enjoy. I watched Parasite with her, which was because I was thinking, let me pick some I love, but that is like pretty accessible. Because Parasite's very Western, you can get it. And she really, really loved it. I also watched Some Like It Hot. She didn't like it so much. We also watched Paprika because I saw it on Netflix. George, you might have seen it. It's this Satoshi Kon film. Same guy did Perfect Blue.
Mm-hmm. Never seen it.
Yeah, it wasn't great. For me anyway, I couldn't really get into it that much. It was all right. But yeah, pretty standard week as far as I'm concerned. Nothing crazy. Work's been a bit busy. Birthday was good. Got a few things coming up that I'm really excited for next week. And then obviously got the BFI Film Festival in 2 weeks as well, which I'm very, very excited for. But yeah, that's about it. Pretty standard week as far as I'm concerned.
Huge. Awesome. All right, Tyler, how have you been? What you been up to?
Yeah, been solid. So last week we didn't record. We had to do our batch recording, which we've kind of grown accustomed to the past couple months. But I was at a wedding once again. Well, actually, the last 2 times was bachelor parties. But now for those weddings that I was having bachelor parties for, I'm actually going to the weddings now. Last weekend I was in Seattle. Seth, is Seattle an American city like that you guys are familiar with, or is that not really?
Do I look like an angel to you guys right now? I feel like I'm absorbing all light right now.
Yeah, I feel the same. Like if you see me, like everyone who's watching, I always put my hand up to my camera because like I always get that same way too, and I need to like focus it. So you can try the hand to the camera technique.
Do Tyler's thing.
It'll focus in. But yeah, Seth, do you guys know Seattle, or is Seattle not really like an internationally known city? Like, do you know the city Seattle?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. I don't know. Like it's
sleepless in Seattle.
Yeah.
The only one I didn't know about, and we had this conversation the other day on text, is I assumed Montana was all just cows and boring shit, and then they sent me photos. I was like, shit.
Montana's actually.
I want to go to Montana.
Montana might be
Jackson Hole's in Montana.
To be
Montana.
yeah.
There is like more cows than humans in Montana. I'm almost positive about that fact.
Yeah, I mean it's a huge state that's not that populated. But to be fair, even Americans sleep on Montana. It's just like a slept-on state in general.
Montana's like the nicest state in this
Why
country.
was Montana the first one that came up when I started Googling, are there more cows than humans in?
Probably because that's like a fun fact people know.
I actually think that is real.
Idaho, Iowa, Kansas, Montana, Nebraska, North Dakota, Oklahoma, South Dakota, and Wyoming. Cows are more numerous than people.
I bet
you had a fucking lot of cows.
You had to be sweating reading that off to hope Indiana wasn't going to pop up on there. But.
Yeah, shout out Indiana. Yeah. Woohoo!
But yeah,
way to stay just rural.
But yeah, I was in Seattle. It was my first time ever going up there. For people near the area, the actual wedding was in Tacoma, so spent most of the weekend in Tacoma, which is like 30 minutes south of Seattle. Good time. Normally, like you think Seattle is going to be rainy and cloudy like all the time, but it was sunny and like 70, which is perfect. A great change of pace for what I'm used to in Arizona. So yeah, good time at the wedding. Shout out Wyatt and Chantel for getting married. But yeah, so I got back from that and just been playing catch up all week. Today been gonna be a busy day, so like I'm actually showered for the first time ever before ReelTok because I record these super early my time, but basically right after we record this episode I gotta drive all the way into the city, which is like 40 minutes away from me. Round trip will be like an hour and a half to go get the new iPhone to pick it up. So very stoked for that. It's been a long time since I've upgraded. Which one are you getting?
Anna's just getting the new one, I think. Which one are you getting? The big one.
I got the 15 Pro Max, so the big boy.
But you got the big boy.
Oh, you don't like the Pro?
I always get the big one.
I love it
all the way.
I have to get the Max. I've never got the Max.
I got the Mini. It fits in my hand.
It feels so small when you pick them up again now.
That's great.
Really weird.
That's great. Awesome. I love that.
But yeah, so I'm getting an iPhone. It's been like 4 years, and so I'm just getting the big boy because I'm just going to write it off on taxes anyways. It's a business expense for TikTok, and if they're going to charge me taxes for my TikTok money, I'm going to write off that iPhone. I'm going to go full dumb money on them. But
have you guys ever watched Schitt's Creek?
Oh yeah,
yes,
I love Schitt's Creek.
Where David's like, you write it off. To who? The write-off people.
Yeah,
I haven't seen that film in ages.
I love
that's so
Schitt's
good.
Creek.
But yeah, so gonna go up there, and then once I get back, it'll be college football day. So speaking of college football, it's like not even fun. I'm not even gonna brag about like beating Cams. Like.
We suck. This is the worst year of football we've had. Sorry, my dog's going crazy right now. But fuck Purdue. Fuck it.
It's one of those things that when your team's playing your friend's team in a rivalry and they win like a close last second game, that's when you want to brag. But like when it's a blowout the entire time and like basically from opening kickoff, you're like, this is a very one-sided game, and we already know who's gonna be winning this. So I was like, I'm not gonna brag to Cam and also like this is the 18th year in a row that Wisconsin's beaten Purdue. So. Now, if you were born the last time Purdue beat Wisconsin, you would now be an adult in America. So it's been tough sledding for Purdue. So
your team's bad, Cameron. 18 years.
The funny thing is they're just simply like not that bad of a program. It's a very weird like Purdue's barely worse than Wisconsin in terms of like overall like quality, but just for some reason Wisconsin just owns Purdue. So that was fun. But yeah, that's all for me. So George, I'll kick it over to you.
Yeah, I wish I could join the college football conversation because it's fun to like bash on Delaware because we're so ass. One of my younger cousins actually goes to Delaware, and her friends, they went to Penn State for that game. Like, they were so excited. They made like a whole day trip out of it and went for a 63, what was it, to 7 route of a game.
Was that this year or was that a previous year?
That was this year. That was 3 weeks ago.
See, like, that's the thing about, like, because Penn State, not to flex, is also another one of my alma maters, but, like, the unfortunate thing about your school, Delaware, is, like, that's a game that I didn't even know happened, because it's just, like, one of those you see on the schedule, and you're like, this is a turn your brain off, don't even have to worry about the team this week, so.
I had no clue it was happening until one of my college friends sent a screenshot of the score to our group chat and goes, wow.
I just hope your team had fun. That's all that matters.
That's all that matters. As long as we're having fun, no one got injured.
Yeah, for sure.
But no, got a week all around, pretty good. One of the busier weeks of work, which is like surprising. I hate going into a week, and I don't know if you guys feel the same, where like I don't expect a busy week. Like, there's not a lot on my calendar. I know my to-do list isn't like through the roof. And then like once Monday hit, meeting after meeting just kept popping up on my calendar. To-do list kept going off the charts. It was one of those weeks where like I was so in and out of meetings that like my Outlook and my inbox just kept piling up. So everything got backed up, and then I got to like, jump in more meetings. So busy week, fast-paced week. But, you know, I tell everyone I like that shit. I'd rather be busy as fuck one week than, you know, a week where I'm doing nothing at work, because those weeks just feel like they take forever to go by.
The funny thing about corporate world is, like, it's literally your job you're paid for. But if you have, like, a day, you go into a day and you're like, I have this set amount of stuff to do, and then someone adds, like, more, you're like, you have the audacity to give me work? Like, what's wrong with you?
Are you serious right now? My boss was off for 2 weeks. He came back last Monday after his 2-weeker, and he immediately tossed a meeting on his calendar. And in my head, I'm like, dude, don't do that. Like, you just got back. Like, take some time to unwind and like catch up first. But no, other than work, pretty standard week. I had a wedding last weekend. So congrats to my cousin George and his beautiful, lovely wife. Wedding was gorgeous right here on Long Island. Nothing more to say. Standard week, busy week of work, a lot more wedding planning. You know, we're really ramping up that. But other than that, nothing, I don't know, nothing worthwhile this week, you know?
Perfect. I think live reaction, I believe this is Seth's film review's first time ever wearing headphones during.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So,
this feels really weird. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you perfect.
It's because they're like noise canceling, so I can't hear myself. So I don't know what's happening
okay.
right now.
That's the
like
perfect thing. You just start screaming.
Yeah, I
What?
I lost my AirPods. This is horrible. I don't like it. I feel like really intruded right now. Yeah, so I lost my AirPods the other day, so I had to buy some. So I was like, why don't I buy some headphones? Because it sounds a lot better on the podcast, you know. But yeah,
what brand are those?
Did you have the Pros or the regular AirPods?
I don't like the Pros. I've tried them, but you know the bud on the Pros.
Yeah,
they just slip out my ears. I need like the old.
They
school
don't
ones.
sit well.
I literally talked to Riley about that last night. I like the Pros, but she's like, I can't wear them. They just fall out of her ears.
They have like different buds. You can customize them to like fit your ear.
No, I don't think it's the size of the bud. It's like the design of the actual headphone.
It's not the size. It's the rubber. The actual end of it just doesn't fit in my ear. They always fall out.
Well,
I need like the old school ones.
So that kind of renders what I was gonna say when I asked if you had the Pros like useless. I was gonna say the AirPod Pros are the best invention in history. They are my favorite product.
I have the Beats, like the Beats pods that like run around your ear. Those are my favorite.
New Pro or
the second gen that just came out today, fresh.
Took those out. Took those.
Wow. Have you guys used the headphones yet that they have? They're like £600.
No,
$700.
Riley has them. My dad gave them to me as a gift, but I had no use. So she's a night nurse, so she sleeps during the day. So it's like perfect for her. She just throws those on, noise cancel, goes to sleep.
How good are they? Like compared to like Sony's or Beats and stuff like that? Because they're expensive.
Well, Beats is an interesting comparison. I think Sony's are way better. Beats have always kind of been like more like the brand name as opposed to like the quality. But the AirPod Pro, like, I mean, they're nice headphones. It's just they're expensive. I like Beats too, but I feel like audiophiles like, oh, Beats suck.
Yeah.
I'm not an audiophile though. Don't worry.
I was gonna say, are you on audiophile, bro?
Someone's gonna comment about that. That's
funny.
But yeah, for myself, nothing really going on. Went out with my wife and her friends last night. M, the woman who did our logo, her like brother and our new logo. Also, shout out Adamson Visuals for doing our last one, but M, who did our new one. Her like twin brother was in town, and he brought some friends, and so we went out with them last night. And I had 2 beers, drove home, and I woke up this morning like feeling worse than any hangover. Like I just feel horrible.
I loved your tweet last night.
That tweet made me literally laugh out loud.
I lost it. The Michael Jackson flu game.
Oh, dude. Michael Jordan flu game.
Michael Jordan, sorry.
Yeah. I thought you were talking the Spy Kids tweet that I blew up.
That was funny too.
Yeah. Yeah, not a whole lot going on. Went out last night. Watched. We'll get into that, I guess, when we talk about what we've been watching. So I won't talk that. Bad week last week, just mental health wise. So I went back into my like Star Wars rewatch grind. So I got through like a season and a half of Rebels is kind of where I left off last Star Wars rewatch. So got through that.
Can't wait to talk about Ahsoka.
Yeah,
bro, I was freaking out last night.
I know, it's
was
great.
bugging.
But pretty normal week. Just kind of like I think I mentioned. God, you're killing me. No kids home right now. I can yell and have my dogs bark, which is fantastic. I'll probably just let them out here soon. Yeah, not a whole lot going on. We'll move on. We'll start with the reviews. So let me bad podcasting, but I'm gonna synopsis. Okay, I'm gonna.
You want me to read this? I'll read the synopsis for Cam while he gets his dog.
Hey,
so,
go outside, everybody.
Bottoms. Let's talk Bottoms. So this came out. Actually, I don't know, like probably a month ago at this point. It was released to digital like super quickly.
Dude, so fast.
So it's already on digital.
They always are now.
Which I don't think is a terrible idea for a movie like Bottoms, because it wasn't a movie that was going to blow up the box office. Like I feel like after the initial weekend of hype, Bottoms kind of like no one was really going to see it. So I think this one's like not the worst like quick digital release, because we all got to see it on digital. So synopsis for Bottoms is PJ and Josie start a fight club as a way to lose their virginities to cheerleaders. The fight club gains traction, and soon the most popular girls in school are beating each other up in the name of self-defense, but the pair finds themselves in over their heads and in need of a way out before their plan is exposed. Also, quick shout before I turn it back over to Cam that the alternate poster on Letterboxd that George and I selected of Fight Club bangs. But Cam, I just covered for you while you're letting out the dogs. Now I'll kick it back to you.
Fantastic synopsis, Reed. So I guess if you're kicking it back to me, I'll just start with my initial thoughts. I really enjoyed Bottoms. I thought it was very funny at moments. Not every joke hits, I think, like with most comedies now. This, for me, like while I was watching it, and I put it in my Letterboxd review because I just did it last night while I was out at the bar. This so easily could have been a like 0.5 out of 100. Like this could have been one of the worst movies ever if the jokes didn't land, because it's so stupid and it's so like over the top, like high school. It's just so like leaning into the high school tropes of like the football players never take off their pads, a million other things that I can't think of at this exact moment. But there's just so much dumb shit in this where if it's not funny, this may have been like one of the worst movies I've ever seen, but I found it very, very funny. So the campiness I think works, and like just the stupid like high school tropes I think work in this one. Shout out Ao Edebiri. I don't know if I pronounced that right. I thought she was hilarious in this. Rachel Sennott is awesome.
She is awesome. I agree.
Facts.
You're
very
you
awesome.
Bonked. You need bonked. But yeah, I like the cast top to bottom. I think it was a pretty simple story. Nothing like too crazy. I think
It's just high school people wanting to get laid. Yep.
Yeah, it's just high school people wanting to get laid. George, I think you were the one that said Marshawn Lynch sucked.
Yeah, I didn't like him.
I thought he was just kind of doing him, so I didn't have an issue with him.
If everything he said just felt so forced, like he didn't know how to act.
That's fair.
Which obviously
he's definitely not an actor. But
no, that's why I'm not like I didn't remove a half a star because of my dislike of Marshawn Lynch, because I'm fully aware he's not an actor. But like I don't know, I feel like we've seen athletes in movies put on good performances, like Kevin Garnett in Uncut Gems. Obviously, a much better script to work with, but
I did love
Yeah,
seeing
I
the
think,
end
I think
credits
they just
where
let him run them.
yeah, I love seeing the end credits where they were doing like the outtakes because it literally
That
just
was
looked
funny.
like it literally just looked like they went to Marshawn. They're like, you have no lines, just like whatever you think. Because like
Yeah, that
the
was
outtakes were
funny.
all so different. I'm like, I literally think they just gave this dude no lines. He's like, just be a substitute teacher who's crazy.
Yeah, I actually really like that in the end credits having the outtakes. Those were funny. But I gave it a 71 out of 100. 3.5 out of 5 stars, I think. But nothing like crazy about this thing. I think it was just a funny, easy to watch hour-and-a-half movie, and sometimes you need that. So Tyler, send it to you.
Yeah, it's going on the
Right
Marshawn Lynch thing. I really enjoyed him in this, but I'm just like a Marshawn Lynch guy. Like I saw him. Oh God, I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. There's like some like Netflix show. It's like called Murderville or something, where they take like actors and throw them in.
Oh, was that like with Will Arnett?
Yep,
That was
yep.
like a big
Where
thing,
he
right?
runs it, and he was on an episode, and he was
Yeah.
like the fan favorite by far. So I'm guessing that's kind of when Hollywood looked at him and were like, we could throw him in a movie, and I liked him in this. Kind of fun fact about Marshawn in this movie. So obviously this film is about women trying to sleep with women in high school. So kind of the reason Marshawn Lynch was drawn to this was he said in an interview that basically when he was younger, his sister came out as homosexual, and one of his biggest regrets in life, because it happened a long time ago for him, was how he handled it. He didn't feel like he handled it well, was supportive, was like a good brother in that instance. And that's always been nagging at him throughout his whole life. So he kind of wanted to, like, that's what really drew him to this movie, was to be like, this is like an opportunity to kind of like at least give something small back to the LGBTQ community, because I feel like I failed them in my previous life. So kind of cool story for him to kind of be in this.
Yeah,
mainly
I did
to
see
kinda,
that. That was cool.
Yeah, kind of mainly for his sister. But yeah, I really enjoyed him. Nicholas Galitzine, who's like the main, I don't even know if he's a quarterback. They never really showed him play football, but I think
they didn't show anything.
Yeah, they
man.
made him
He was
seem
just
like he was
guy
the
in
star
pads.
quarterback. But
Yeah.
I really enjoy him. He was in Red, White, Royal Blue, which I thought he was great in. Obviously, he didn't get as much range to do in this one, but he's just a funny, silly little guy.
He was in Purple Hearts from last
Oh,
year.
that
which
was him
a movie
too.
that went in one ear, out the
Yeah.
other, where he was just like Republican military guy, and in this he's just dumbass football player.
What a range. He's played his last 3 movies: dumbass football player, homosexual son of the Queen in England, and then hardcore Republican who probably hates his Purple Hearts character, would want to literally kill his Red, White, and Royal Blue character.
weird movie.
Yeah, weird filmography, but I enjoy him. I think he's someone we're probably going to start seeing in more stuff, just because I feel like his workload's starting to increase. But I agree with Cam. If the comedy didn't land here, which it didn't all the time, it was like 50-50. It could have been really bad. But I watched this movie, and it's a quick 90 minutes, and I never once was like, I hate this, I want to turn it off, but I never was like in love with it. So it's just like very middle of the road for me. But then that final scene is what kind of put it over the edge to be like a 3 star as opposed to like a 2.5, because I thought that final scene was a whole lot of fun, which we'll talk about more in the later discussion. But I felt like the directing of this movie was just kind of bland. Like, I feel like the story was so wild and all over the place, and the cast from top to bottom I absolutely loved, but like, it should have been a more fun and engaging movie with how great the cast is and how much I like them and how silly the story was, but it just kind of was meh. But the soundtrack was great, though. I'm a huge soundtrack guy, and this soundtrack was banging.
The soundtrack was kind of
Soundtrack did
banging. Did
bang,
they play
yeah.
Avril Lavigne?
Yeah.
That was kind of banging.
The
I'm not
soundtrack
gonna
was
lie.
kind of banging.
Soundtrack was banging.
I gave it a 6.2 out of 10 for 3 stars. Last thing I'll say is I've seen people, but when this came out in theaters, compare it to like this, like the modern day Superbad, and it's just not even close. Don't give
Modern day
yourself that.
Superbad is Booksmart.
Booksmart. Thank Cam. I love you, bro.
Yeah, it just
Thank
is.
you.
It just is. Booksmart's great. But George,
So
what were
good.
your thoughts?
Yeah, pretty much exactly the thoughts between the two of you guys. I went with a 3.5. I found myself laughing way more often than I thought it would, and like Cam said, if those jokes didn't land, this could have very well been a 1.5 star movie, but they were landing for me. I thought Ayo and Rachel were fucking fantastic. Their chemistry, it feels like they've been acting alongside each other for years. But yeah, I kind of want to echo what Tyler said in terms of the direction. I feel like this movie didn't know whether it wanted to be like a full-on spoof of the high school genre or like give us a genuinely like serious like entry into that category of film. Like there were moments where it felt like, you know, a scary movie or a not another teen movie, and then there were moments where it felt like a Booksmart. So it was very, for me, tonally a little bit all over the place. I still loved it. I texted you guys. There were moments in this movie, or I think I texted Victoria this. There were moments in this movie that I absolutely adored. I texted you guys. The total eclipse scene, I loved. Like, that was an all-timer. I rewound that like 3 times to watch it. Like, I thought that was fucking hilarious. And then that song choice in the background is just there's no need for it, but it was just it was just perfect. But yeah, for me, it was a lot of hilarious moments, a lot of heartfelt moments, kind of surrounded by what felt like very lazy direction, lazy writing. I wish they just kind of leaned more into these, the spoof, genre trope aspect of this movie a little bit more, because I think that would have played to them. But there were moments where they wanted to dial in and get serious, and in a movie full of like just very classic, very standard genre cliches, I don't think it worked as well as I had hoped for. I still went with a 3.5 out of 5. I still really enjoyed my time with it. Like both of you guys said, it's just a quick, turn your brain off, hour and a half comedy. You're going to laugh. You might tear up here and there. But yeah, it also felt a little predictable for me. You kind of, it's following the very standard high school formula, losers get popular or somewhat known more so in school. They run through their ups and downs. At the end, there's going to be this big like needle drop of them being exposed, and then they're going to hate each other, and then they're going to reconcile, shit like that. Yeah. But yeah, I think the biggest thing that I take away from what you guys said, if the comedy didn't hit, this could have been a 1 out of 5 stars for me, but it was hitting more so than I expected. And again, didn't love Marshawn Lynch. I'm just going to throw that back in there. I thought he was cool. I think it's awesome that he's like in this movie. I don't think this movie is going to do wonders at the box office, so I think the inclusion of Marshawn Lynch is going to get a lot of more people to watch it now that it's on digital, which is awesome because I think this movie deserves as many eyeballs on it as possible. But yeah, 3.5 out of 5 for me. I think it's sitting either just inside or just outside my top 20 of the year. But again, I'm still like far behind. I've only seen, I think, like 55 new releases of the year. So yeah, 3.5 out of 5. Great watch for the hour and a half that it was.
Yep. So we can get into spoilers now, even though like you kind of ran through the timeline already.
Sorry.
There's not really anything to spoil, and I don't have an issue with that in an hour and a half movie. That's like about like an hour and a half comedy. I don't have a problem with it being generic. I kind of prefer that. It's not going to be the best movie ever if you are generic. It's just an easy watch, I will say right before we get into spoilers, I clicked on Nicholas Galitzine, his Google profile, and he is doing the full-on Zoolander in his very first picture. He's got the like duck face out, just Zoolander face. So that good for him. Looking good in that one. But yeah, bottoms. I don't know what Tyler, if you want to talk the ending scene. They're basically on a football field and everyone's trying to kill everyone. As you mentioned, they basically start a fight club. And then it gets exposed, and then they have to fight at the end, obviously. But yeah, they're just trying to fight everyone and kill everyone.
Yeah, I feel like the only thing like spoilery would be, you know what? We might as well throw this up. So only thing
fuck yeah.
Very cool.
Only thing spoilery would be like, so that basically the whole movie, it's like the girls in the fight club that are trying to, get women, basically have this like war with the football team where they just hate them, like a classic, like the jocks suck, like we hate these popular jocks. But then kind of by the end they realize, so they have like a big homecoming football game is what this movie like builds up to. And the football game is like a huge rivalry years long between the two cities. And basically like the girls who hate the football team that were trying to like kind of ruin the night realize, or someone tells them towards the end, that every year at this game, like the other opponents, like they try to kill someone on the football team, like end their pets, like not just like hurt them, like kill them, like literally kill them. So they're like, shit, well, they're going to like kill our people. Like we're not that against them. So we're going to stick up for them. So they try and basically there's like a bomb that's set in a tree that's kind of like more of a distraction. And then like a fight, all out just Anchorman final scene level fight happens on the field of just people getting stabbed and killed and blood flying all over the place and gruesome, just women kicking ass. And it was just hilarious when the football team walked out the other team, because I was like, it's just, they actually look like it could be a high school football team. Whereas the actors like in the movie for Bottoms were like, clearly like 28-year-old men.
Yeah.
And then like the other team rolls up and there was a couple studs in there, but like it was a huge crowd. Most of them, I was like, oh, that's like actually what could a high school football team be? So I was like just kind of chuckling. And then just literally like the end of Anchorman is kind of what the end of the movie this was, where it's just all out crazy fight, Mortal Kombat style to the deaths.
the funny thing is they didn't play any bit of football in this movie. Like you said, we don't really know if he was the quarterback or whatever. They just start fighting. And one of my favorite jokes was, so Hazel was one of like probably the third main character, we'll call her. She was kind of the crux of the film at the end, being love interest to Rachel's Senate, right? Senate's
I've always thought it was Senate,
PJ character. Okay, Senate. Rachel Sennett's PJ character there. They get together at the end, but they look at her at one point and she's like, "Oh, now you want a bomb?" Because earlier she builds a bomb and like blows up his car or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why, but that
Great
just had me dying because I was like just building a bomb at a football game.
I can't remember who said it, but I loved when I think one of the girls at the end, basically after the fight ends, they're like, "Did we kill that guy?" And I think Rachel Sennett was the one who was like, "Oh yeah, we've killed a lot of people. Like there's a lot of people dead here right now," and that just made me laugh out loud.
They also like note at the end that like no one is in the other team's crowd, and I watched that and I was like, "This is so like." I was thinking before that, I'm like, "There's no one there. This is stupid." Like they didn't even try, and then they make note of it, and that made me laugh. And at one point they like pull out matching necklaces and they're like, "Oh, we're pulling these out in the third act." And it were things like that, like that weren't the funniest thing ever, but I think if they don't hit, I'm like, this sucks ass. But it for me made me laugh a good amount. So that's why I hold it pretty high compared to others. Are there any other jokes that you want to mention? It's a fairly basic movie, but I do think if you're wanting an easy watch, it's on digital now. I think you go watch it. Like this is something I could show Emma and she would really like. But it's not something that's going to win film awards, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's all.
But that's all. We can move on. It's my 18th ranked movie of the year, George. So I think you mentioned like in your top 20, Tyler. Is it anywhere in your
like
top
48
50
or something? So yeah,
40,
top 50.
top 50.
Good job.
Oh, it's my 17.
Moving on, Mr. George is the only one that was able to see Dumb Money. Kind of wish I did. I actually do really want to see this, but like we said earlier, it's got a limited-ish release. It's in the big cities, and I could have driven to go see it. I just didn't want to drive too far. But George, give me your thoughts on Dumb Money.
Yeah, keep it short. Obviously, I mean, I can't spoil anything. I'm sure you guys know the entire story, top to bottom, anyways.
This is a true story, and I don't know how like fabricated it is. But real quick, sorry, to go into the synopsis. So everyday people flip the script on Wall Street and get rich by turning GameStop into one of the world's hottest companies. In the middle of everything is Keith Gill, a regular guy who starts it all by sinking his life savings into the stock. When his social media posts start blowing up, so does his life and the lives of everyone following him. As a stock tip becomes a movement, everyone gets wealthy until the billionaires fight back on both sides and find their worlds turned upside down. So basically, I was in college during the pandemic. This was in 2021, I believe, because I was at school. So 2020 was like COVID. That was my junior year. We got kicked off campus, right? But 2021, we were back, and it started 2021-ish. Basically, GameStop got super big. Stocks started raising like crazy. Wall Street freaked out. It was all because of Wall Street bets on Reddit, if you don't know anything about that. So this is a true story. Again, I don't know how fabricated it is to make it like a movie, but it is a true story, and it was something that was like took over the lives if you were in college at the time like I was. So maybe if you were in the U.S., you may remember that. But George, what were your thoughts on the movie? Sorry to go on.
No, you're good. I appreciate that. Big surprise. That's like my key takeaway. I was a big proponent of like, oh, why do we need this movie? Like this didn't even happen a year and a half ago or whatnot at this point. Like what's the point of this movie? They rallied, they wrote the script, they got these actors and filmed it rather fast. So just the timeline of events to lead up to the release of this movie, it moved very quickly for me to like not question whether it's just a money grab piece of shit or whether it's something actually worth watching. I can confirm it's worth watching. I had a fucking blast with this movie. It's absolutely just dials into the absurdity of the story. It's basically, I said in my TikTok review, this entire movie is a Reddit thread just in a movie, which I think is hilarious. I think if they tried to tell this particular story from like the POV of like the hedge fund guys, I think it would have just come off very like bland and boring. If they tried to take the route of like The Big Short, where they tried to like genuinely make it an intelligent movie and not appeal to all audiences, I think it would have fallen short. But they really just, hammered that this is a Reddit thread come to life. This is an absurd story, so we're going to make an absurd movie. And because of that, I had a fucking blast with it. I thought it was hilarious. The first song that pops up is WAP. And once that's the first thing you hear. No one talks before that. So once I heard that, I was like, okay, they're really like pulling for this whole like absurdity thing, which I absolutely adore. The story itself, it's you're not learning anything new, which is one of the biggest reasons for me, at least, why I didn't rate it above a 3.5. I believe the movie clocked in at like an hour and 40, hour 45, and it's very rare for me to say I wish a movie was longer, but I do wish this one was slightly longer because there were so many nuances. There were so many finite details of this story that I think just would have, benefited sharing with the audience. Just, give us some knowledge coming out of this movie. But they went with like the very surface level, like basic timeline of these series of events. So I thought it just came off a little shallow here and there because we weren't diving deep into anything. There were certain instances where like I had a question or two or whatever, and I expected the movie to kind of explain it, but they didn't. They just kind of continued with the very surface level aspect of the story. That's why I said there's nothing to spoil here, because every part of this story you heard about. You heard about it on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, whatever. Any news outlet was talking about it for 2 weeks. And the movie didn't give you anything really beyond that. Paul Dano, as a Reddit user, is just hilarious. It's like, it was such a perfect casting, which is weird to say because like he's not doing anything. He's realistically just being Paul Dano with long hair and a headband. But he was so good in this movie. I really liked him. Pete Davidson, a little underutilized. He was really there for comedic relief. Not upset about that. I don't know where else he could have fit into the story, but I liked how they squeezed him in as like Paul Dano's character's brother.
Pete Davidson is hilarious, and I don't know how he's used in this, but I also think he's very good at actually acting. I'd like
he's fucking hysterical.
Do other things also rather than be comedic relief. One of my favorite movies is
King of Staten Island.
King of Staten Island. I love him, but I just wish he would get out of this like you're in for 10 scenes comedic relief and then bye.
Yeah. That's pretty much what he felt like. He kind of just drops a bunch of one-liners here and there. He does have like a small like little heartfelt scene towards the end with Paul Dano, who is his brother in the movie. So that was nice. But yeah, overall he's just comedic relief. He's a stoner in this movie. He's stealing cars. He's driving Uber as he's doing a DoorDash as a full-time job, and he's like 30 years old or whatnot. So it's like very classic, like getting into fights with your parents about not having a real job, shit like that, living in the basement, being a stoner. So it's like a very Pete Davidson type role.
Yeah.
But it was there strictly for comedic relief.
Pete Davidson wants to live in his parents' basement damn bad.
Oh, yeah.
He got too famous for his own. Like, he wants to be in that basement so bad.
That's all he wants to do. But yeah, I went with a 3.5 out of 5. Like I said, to start this review, just biggest takeaway from this movie is how surprised I was walking out of it. I genuinely had a great time. But again, it's not doing anything. It's not an intelligent movie per se. You're not going to walk out feeling like you learned more about the situation unless you genuinely lived under a rock throughout all of it. So yeah, 3.5 out of 5. This is a little higher ranked for me than Bottoms, but still somewhere around that top 15 of the year.
Cool. Directed by Craig Gillespie, who also did his best movie, George. I Tonya.
Oh, right. Jesus Christ.
But not a whole lot other than that. Cruella, Lars and the Real Girl or whatever that movie is. But like you said, I think if this were directed by Adam McKay and were a Big Short type movie, it would probably be my favorite movie ever. And I would have been running to the theater to see it. But it sounds like they went more of the comedic route. That's Dumb Money with George. Little background on that again. After GameStop got super big. They tried to make AMC the next like big stock that they were going to raise.
I was a full
like crazy.
proponent of that. I was
yeah, right. I would have loved
man.
that. My buddy put a good amount of money into AMC and it just stayed stagnant.
Well, it actually did boom initially, but the thing is, like, when us normal losers learn about it, it's way too late.
Yes, you're right. It did boom, and then it just stayed stagnant at its like small boom or whatever. So yeah, when we learn about it, it's not doing anything. Tyler, moving on to you for Expend4bles. Expend4bles.
Yep. So I'm putting the spoiler up right now. I'll read the synopsis quick, but I'm just gonna go straight into spoilers after the synopsis. So if you don't want to be spoiled for Expend4bles, like, see George, like, huge Expendables fan. Cam as well, like, taking off the headphones, getting out of the room because they don't want to be spoiled. So here's the synopsis. The tagline: they'll die when they're dead. Armed with every weapon they can get their hands on and the skills to use them, the Expendables are the world's last line of defense. And this is basically just like the definition of Expendables. I'm Expendables 4. The Expendables are the world's last line of defense, and the team gets called when all other options are off the table. This is stupid. The synopsis of the movie is literally just Expendables. But here's the spoilers. We're going to get into it. So, okay, first off, right off the bat, I gave it a 3.6 out of 10 for 2 stars. But I wrote my review with like 7 minutes left in the movie, and something happens in the end that makes it like a 1 out of 10 at best. So I need to update my ranking on Letterboxd because I preemptively
Did you
wrote
write
that
this
review.
in the theater?
Yeah, dude, Expendables was not a hot ticket item this weekend. So
no, I'm not arguing.
No,
I just find
dude,
that
I was not that engaged.
So
I was not that
just there,
engaged.
just like typing. That's
yeah,
so funny.
Yeah. So, but I preemptively published this because the final 5 minutes just. Okay, so here's what the spoilers is. So first 5 minutes of the movie, Sylvester Stallone dies in a plane crash.
Classic.
Which is like, which the annoying thing is us being like in the movie industry, we know the whole stupid like, oh, Sylvester Stallone has his contract, he can't die or like whatever, like lose the fight. So I was like, did they actually kill him off? They literally show him in the plane, crash into the ground, burn, explode. Like Jason Statham runs up and finds him there. Like it's an emotional scene. You literally see a body completely scorched and burned. Like his classic Expendables ring is on his finger, given the middle finger. He's there. He's dead. They don't really shy away. Like you're like, damn, I don't really know how they can get out of this one because he's literally just like, they just showed him crash a plane and he's literally just a torched corpse. And then the whole movie, Sylvester Stallone's not in it. Like he's in the first 5 minutes and then he's just gone. And the whole movie, like normally all the Expendables movies are about like the whole crew. This one's really just a Jason Statham movie. So that's why I like liked it a little bit because I've always liked him the best out of the crew.
Yeah.
So all over the place movie. After Sylvester Stallone dies, they kind of disband the Expendables and he gets a job as a bodyguard for a social media influencer, which is just this like chubby guy who's like just such a stereotypical, like he's basically having a mansion party with a bunch of like hot women in bikinis, but he's just like an ugly chubby guy who's like a social media influencer, and he's like telling all the women, he's like, oh, you guys aren't pretty enough, and just like being like an asshole. And then Jason Statham beats him up. Then Megan Fox comes into play, and just a classic like action trope move where like him and Megan Fox start out by fighting, and then it turns into them having sex. And then after that, they eventually are like, we got to get the Expendables back together. So they do. And then there's a big fight at the end, and Jason Statham runs out of bullets, and he's standing there. He's like, well, or what's Sylvester Stallone's name? I believe it's Barney. He's like, I guess I'll see you soon, Bonnie. And he goes out there without his bullets. He's like, this is it for me. Then, of course, something comes in and just saves the day and crashes into the crash site and saves him from dying. And then, of course, at the end of the movie, Sylvester Stallone walks up. He's like, I was never really dead. Fake my whole death. You all bought it hook, line, and sinker. I'm like, dude, that's why like I published my review before it came back because I thought there's no way they'd bring him back. And I was like, I applaud you for actually taking the risk of killing Sylvester Stallone off because it's been 9 years. Maybe the rest of the gang was like, we want a paycheck. And Stallone's like, I'm kind of done with this. So just kill me off right away. But no, he comes back at the end. Basically what he did is his plane is crashing down to the ground, and at the last second he takes this like prisoner he had in the back and stuffs him in the pilot seat and puts his ring on him, and then that's who gets torched up. And then honestly I don't think I was paying attention because they still didn't explain like how Stallone got out of the plane and survived. Like I think he parachuted, but the first crash scene is like not far from the ground. So like if you know anything about parachuting, like, you can't just parachute from like 100 feet above the ground and like survive. Like you need hundreds of feet for that thing to open up and work. So basically they kill him off.
It's like in an elevator when you're going down and right before you get to the bottom, you like jump right to reduce the impact. Isn't that what everyone says?
Yeah, that's also been proven wrong by physics.
That's what Sly does.
Yeah. Just a stupid movie. I'm gonna lower my rating from 3.6 because I did write my review before Stallone came back to life, and I did actually enjoy They Killed Him Off. But it won't be like the worst movie of the year simply because this movie is just a Jason Statham movie, and I like Jason Statham, like his like comedy, his one-liners, seeing him just like hit on Megan Fox and stuff. Like it's fun for that aspect because I like Jason Statham. But yeah, the movie's bad. 9 years later, I don't really know why they rebuilt. Like I said in my review, you can say this about every movie where it's like, oh, they don't need to make this or they shouldn't have made this franchise installment. But this one, I truly mean it with every fiber of my being because the Expend4bles movies came out every year or two, and then they just take 9 years off, and there's just like nothing was like tied up here. Like no one died. Like Sylvester Stallone ended up being alive. They didn't like have like a, I don't know. Why did they make this? Like maybe it's like Fast and Furious where these are going to make money. I'm sure it'll make some money. So whatever. It was just rough.
It appears it costs about $100 million to make, and it's going to make $8 to $10 million in its opening night. That's not great.
That's not great. But one thing I've always kind of enjoyed, like just from a corny aspect of Expendables, is like in the first couple ones, they always just use their one-liners from previous movies, like Arnold and Stallone, like the classic one-liners from their previous mega movies in their career. They use them in this as kind of a cheeky nod to them. Same thing in this with 50 Cent in this one. Like every time like there's a fight scene about to happen and they're driving towards it, 50 Cent's just like blasting in the car. Like his songs are like Into Club. I'm like, that's kind of nice. They're just like playing 50 Cent while he's like clearly just on the screen right now. But yeah, bad movie. Hilarious that they I don't know. I mean, like I should have saw it coming. I don't know why I was so stupid to not know they wouldn't kill off Sylvester Stallone. But the fact, like, it's just one of those where you watch it happen and you're like, my logical brain knows realistically there's 0% chance you could even like make up something to say you'd survive this. So I guess they'll just have it as is. And they had like a whole funeral for him. Like, and it's been like, it was like a couple years. I was just like, whatever, man. Like if there's an Expend4bles, I'm just going to lose it. But
no, I was going to ask, do you think they're going to put the 5 at the S?
At the end with the S.
I mean,
yeah, right? Okay.
I think for a fact, if this movie makes money, like if it's above a break even, they'll make a new one. But I think they might just kill it if it ends up being a dud, like it looks like.
It looks like it's a dud.
My rant's over.
I will say this is there's about to be another Jason Statham movie that has.
Please tell me it's the Meg 3.
No. That has someone come back in a plane crash. Do you know what movie's about? I have that as well. This movie entered my brain and left as well, so I didn't think of this until just now.
Fast 10?
Yeah, Fast 10. They end with a plane crash, and they're totally gonna just eject in the last second.
Yeah,
so that exact same thing is gonna happen in another Jason Statham movie here shortly. But yeah, moving on from Expendables, there's no reason to even wait on that one. But Ahsoka, George caught up. He's finally with me. I'm happy I don't have to be like the only one talking about it. So George, give your thoughts like 1 through 6.
Yeah,
I've given my thoughts already, but
yeah, 1 through 6. I feel like I have like the very like standard thoughts of this show. I feel like I've heard everyone say this about it. 1 through 3 just weren't really doing it for me. It felt like a lot of look, point, there's that character, applause. It's cool we're seeing them come back. Story wise, I wasn't really locked in. I think everything with Balin and Shin in the first 3 episodes absolutely carried. Ahsoka was great. I texted you guys last night. Where would you rank her where would you rank Rosario Dawson among like the best Star Wars live action castings? And she's not in my top 10, but you know she very well could be. I think she's fantastic, and her presence alone it's just very charming. She adds just this level of like badass / charisma to this character that I really, really like. But yeah, episodes 1 through 3, I was kind of like, okay, this is like expected. So I'm going to hold off on my thoughts and give them at the end of the 6 because I know everyone's been speaking so highly of episodes 4 through 6. The praise is warranted. I've obviously been a lovely Disney Plus show hater over the last 2 years, but I really was genuinely surprised with episodes 4 through 6. I tweeted about episode 5. Perfect example of how to bring back like a legacy character and make it meaningful, make it like a genuine, integral part of a story as opposed to just bringing them back for a cheap applause, which is kind of what it felt like that's to me what the flashbacks in Kenobi felt like. It just felt like very cheap applause. I don't think it added much to the story.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, because we'll talk about it, so I'm just gonna drop that spoiler alert right now.
I don't know if I can. Oh, Tyler's
yeah,
here.
you
He
can. Oh, Tyler's here.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they brought Hayden Christensen back just the perfect way. It's not a hey look, it's Hayden Christensen. It's hey look, it's Hayden Christensen, but his presence is gonna amplify Ahsoka's story. It's gonna amplify your attachment, your personal and intimate relationship with Ahsoka in this series. And I think it works really, really well. The 2 viral shots that went around Twitter, fucking awesome, man.
Yeah.
They're so sick.
Yeah.
I saw a tweet that someone said, like, when like Anakin like does like the arm pump and turns into Vader, someone was like, that's a better arm pump than Henry Cavill from Mission Impossible Fallout.
I don't know about that, but it was very awesome.
It was so cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I really liked it. I'm excited to see where this show goes. I can't imagine Anakin returns.
I don't know, probably.
I mean, like maybe, but like I don't know. I don't know. That's it's not that I'm not worried about that at all. I wouldn't be upset if he doesn't, obviously, because I think they utilized him fantastic in episode 5. I think he served his purpose for this particular story.
Maybe they'll give him another force Ghost or something.
Yeah, maybe Force Ghost. We saw the Siege of Mandalore, which was awesome again.
So great.
Just a perfect example of bringing Hayden Christensen back and just making it meaningful. Like the entire conversation he has with younger Ahsoka was just beautiful, and then simultaneously while he's having a conversation with her, I guess when Ahsoka's older in real time, it packs a lot of weight, and I really appreciate that. Dave Filoni did a really good job with those characters in episodes 4 through 6. Yeah, other than that, really liking episodes 4 through 6, so I'm hoping it continues. I don't know. I put in a Letterboxd score for it, but that could very well change by the end of the show, so it's a little irrelevant.
Yeah, I don't have it rated, but I saw you gave it like a 3.5.
Yeah, I gave it a 3.
That's pretty about where I'd be. Episode 6, I really liked. We saw the return of Thrawn.
Yep. What were your? There are so many people bitching and moaning that they didn't. No, they didn't like recast, because that's the voice actor.
Yeah, Lars Mikkelsen.
Yeah, people
I like him.
I loved him. I thought he was great, but people are upset. People are like, just because you're a good voice actor doesn't mean you could be a good actor. And I'm like, all he's doing is standing and talking. If you're telling me he can't stand and just talk the way he spoke in the show,
Lars Mikkelsen is like he's not as big as Matt.
No, but he's very capable. People were like, oh, Bill Skarsgård should have played this role. And I'm like, no, he shouldn't have.
Yeah, you can get like the biggest name in acting if you want, but like that's the thing they always like throw out. They're like, damn, why the fuck did Leonardo DiCaprio not play this role? It's like, you can't get Bill Skarsgård right now. You can get his dad to play to be an Andor, but it's just I liked him in this.
I liked him a lot. He was menacing.
I think obviously he knows how to play the character, given that he comes from the animated series, so I think that is a benefit. I tweeted, I don't necessarily care for Ezra. I like Ezra, I just don't love him, but like his return didn't make me like jump out of my seat. And it's also a very small thing. It's like living with turtle people. It's
also just so saturated because like we're staring at Hayden Christensen as Anakin Skywalker for half of an episode. Like that's all people are thinking about. It doesn't matter who you bring back after that. It's like, all right, well, we got the top of the top. Yeah, and, I saw a lot of people mad online about, like, Star Wars fans want different until they give Anakin, and, like, completely fair because, I always say we got to get away from the Skywalker family, but I do love Anakin, so every time I see him, I'm happy, so it's just I don't know what analogy I'm trying to pull. But I like the episodes a lot. Loved episode 5. I really liked episode 6. I really enjoy. I think episode 4 is probably like the best like episode. I think in my opinion, but episode 5 was my favorite. I still think even with like all the fan service. I agree. 5, I think it was a really good. I still think it's a great episode. Like it still did its job to like progress the story. Echo, can we not do that? I do think like
the first 3 episodes had like, does this? There were a lot of questions like, does this escape the Gray Ahsoka allegations, basically? And the first 3 episodes were gray and they were dreary and they weren't as good, and they not being as good is not acceptable. But I do think they were very intentional in being like a duller gray tone, because now Seth, you're gonna love this. She is like Ahsoka the White, basically. She's like reborn as this like more knowing character. She's very clearly wearing white.
Gandalf.
Yeah, there you go. She's very clearly like it's now a very bright show compared, and like she's clearly had this. So she had a lot of weight from this Anakin character, obviously, and that's been resolved a little bit, so she can go on with her life and that sort of thing. So it was very intentional being like gray, but I don't know if you can do that in a 8-episode series and not feel some repercussions. I'm sure those first 3 episodes turn people off a little bit, and the casual viewer may not come back for the next ones, even if they hear it's great. But I do think they were intentional. Dave Filoni knows what the hell he's doing. He's like next in line. He's the heir to the Empire at this point. Just give him the Kevin Feige treatment. But I think it was I really enjoy it. There's a person on Twitter, and I see a lot, and I don't want to be rude, so maybe this is mean. But this guy seems very nice. Guy tweets a lot about Star Wars and is just very excited about Star Wars, which is great. But one tweet he had, and I'm not going to say his name, it says, "The time after Return of the Jedi and before The Force Awakens is shaping into one of my favorite eras of Star Wars. Truly terrifying seeing the remains of the Empire rely on dark magic, cloning, and ancient secrets to reclaim the tyranny. Never have we seen this saga this frightening." And then he said, like, somehow Palpatine Returns becomes more and more eerie as time goes on. I'm like, that tweet was just fascinating to me, because I'm like, I don't see how you can just like
no one who was watching any of these projects that take place between Revenge of the Sith or Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens was thinking, oh, you know what? Palpatine Returns.
Yeah,
that's actually a good line.
Yeah, right. It's just like one of those things where like I don't see how you think that's terrifying. But again, I'm sure he's a nice person. I don't know him. Maybe I shouldn't have read that on that, but I replied to it because I was like, wow, people actually like feel this way about this era. But I do enjoy the show itself. We can move on from Ahsoka. Hopefully it sticks the landing. It is 8 episodes versus 6. So glad we're not just done. God. Yeah, right. But here we go on to some trailers. And Seth, I'd love to hear your luscious voice because we haven't heard you in a minute. But we'll start with the first trailer. Seth, did you watch the Hunger Games Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes trailer?
No.
God damn it! All right,
sorry.
That's fine.
I don't really care about the Hunger Games films, to be honest. Does it actually look good? I did see some positive stuff about it, to be honest.
I think
I like them, but I'm never like. Actually, I haven't seen the 3rd and 4th Hunger Games film.
Oh, really?
I've seen the first 2. I liked the first 2. Is that the best one? The first 2.
Yeah, 3 and 4.
That's it. But I never think about going back to them, if you know what I mean. They're not something that really sticks in my mind. So I don't know. I'll probably watch it, but I'm not really that bothered about it, to be honest.
Okay. Well, Rachel Zegler is my queen. I love her, but I think this looks good. I don't know anything about the Hunger Games. I don't know if this has already been a book. I don't know if people know what happened.
Yes,
okay, yeah. I've never been like a Hunger Games lore guy. I'm just a guy who thinks Catching Fire is really good.
Well, this book came out way after the original trilogy, so this is basically like a prequel's almost like not even the right word. It's like way before the Hunger Games.
It's the 10th Hunger Games, right? And we're in like the cornucopia or not. That's the middle thing, right?
Isn't it the second quarter quell? So that'd be like the 50th Hunger Games was the Catching Fire one. So I believe it'd be like 40 years earlier.
I think it was a 75th.
Okay, yeah, even more so. But that's kind of going with what I'm saying. It's not like I feel like prequel usually means like leading up to what the first movie was in the trilogy. So this is like kind of way before it. But for me, like I love the Hunger Games movies. I don't like the last 2. So I was excited for this, but for some reason the initial screen grabs I saw of it like months ago when they were releasing it, something about, I don't know if it's like the color or just like the costumes or just something looked off, and I was like, this might be ass.
Yeah.
But then the trailer came out and I was pleasantly surprised. That's kind of everyone's reaction, as they were like, we were excited for it, but not over the moon. But then they saw the trailer and were like, you know what, this actually looks like it'll be pretty good. So I'm excited for it for sure.
Yeah. It's about what is he?
Snow.
President Snow?
Mm-hmm.
President, yeah, okay. So it's about President Snow, played by Tom Blythe. Rachel Zegler plays Lucy Gray Baird. Hunter Schafer is Tigress Snow, who I believe's his sister. And then Viola Davis is like the games master, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So it's about the 10th Hunger Games, and they keep being like, witness the beginning, and I'm like, well, it's not really the beginning. But... So that frustrates me a little bit in the trailers. It's like witness the 10th, maybe we can call it, or but yeah, I think it looks good. I don't think there's too much to talk about unless you really know the books. And I see like some girl on TikTok is like Hunger Games enthusiast 101, and she knows the books, and I like her video. But moving on to the next big trailer this week, or big IP trailer, I would say, is Percy Jackson.
Boo.
An all-time bad
George
all-time bad tweet, tweeting about how a kid's show looks childish.
Boo, boo. The Percy Jackson books are no less mature than the Harry Potter.
I read those things when I was 9.
That's
bro.
okay. I read Harry Potter when I was 9.
Fair point to George.
They are no less mature than Harry Potter or the Hunger Games. The show.
To be fair, the early Harry Potter films were pretty like childish, though.
Yeah, but they
Yeah,
still
they grew
had
up
this
with you.
dark. Yeah, they had this dark aura around them. It's not even childish. It just feels so corny, and I just can't help but think like, okay, it's a Disney production, so the only reason they're tackling this is for a little money grab. It just felt so fucking corny to me. It's literally a show meant for children, which shouldn't be the case, because there's a lot of young adults that grew up with Percy Jackson. Because fuck them kids.
That's just an all-time bad.
Because fuck them kids.
One thing I love about George's Twitter takes is he'll never back down. If he ever has something, if
he
someone
never deletes his tweets. Yeah. People
he'll
like
never
attack him for it. He never deletes.
Imagine.
Yeah.
I'm here to stir the pot. That's all I do. That's all I do.
That is what you are good at.
Someone like replied or quote tweeted. One of like the kids in like the HC Joe group of film talkers, he like quote tweeted, and I just responded.
I like that guy. It was like Chris.
No, I like that guy too. I got nothing against him, but I replied to him like I literally just said baby brain, and he just went on a rant, and I'm like, you do realize like I just like to stir the pot. Like I don't really give a fuck about Percy Jackson. It looks stupid. It looks
such a dick.
It looks like it's for 4-year-olds, so like fair, you get baby brain, but like God, it looks so corny. There's no need for that.
Well, to share the good with Percy Jackson,
there's
I
no
think
good.
this is the only
what good?
I think this is the only book series
the Vance
I've
Joy
read
song
outside of Vance Joy Bangs.
I
think this is the only book series I've read outside of Harry Potter. I'm not.
You never read Lord of the Rings?
No, fuck no.
How many
books
are
better than Harry Potter?
I haven't even read Star Wars books. Like I don't read. Reading's hard, man. I watch.
You read Harry Potter. There's Lord of the Rings. Harry Potter.
I read Harry Potter as a child. All right, like I wasn't really like I was probably 11 or 12.
How many Percy Jackson books are there?
It's like 5. Lightning Thief, Sea of Monsters.
There's some films that came out. Like
so, yeah, it'll be pretty easy to make this better than the movies.
They were bad, weren't they?
With Logan Lerman was the main guy.
Logan Lerman, yeah. How
people are thirsty over him on Twitter. I didn't realize he had such a cult following until the last couple months. Every time he releases a new picture, he gets millions of retweets.
Shout out me, Percy Jackson. There are 5. So the Lightning Thief, Sea of Monsters, Titan's Curse, Battle of Labyrinth, and the last. It cut off the last. Come on, the Last Olympian. Thank you. So yeah, I read those when I was like 9. I loved the Percy Jackson series. They were awesome as a kid. But I think the movies kind of stink. And also, again, George, stupid tweet, but this is about like a 12-year-old, and Logan Lerman looks like he's like 22 in the original movies. Like
I'm not defending the original movie.
No, I'm just saying like these are about like a 12-year-old. And Logan Lerman just looked real old in those originals. Moving on, next trailer, Dream Scenario. Did anyone watch this, starring Nicolas Cage?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Seth. All you.
Cool. I haven't really got anything to say. I just watched it. Like, I saw it on Twitter. It went quite crazy on Twitter when it came out, didn't it? Because obviously it's Nicolas Cage and stuff. Not really.
Okay, great. I got nothing. Thank you, Echo. Oh my goodness. And then next trailer, All of Us Strangers, starring Pedro Pascal. Any thoughts? I think it looks good.
Bangs. Is that a show? Hold on.
No, it's a movie. And
wait, did you say Pedro? Did you say Pedro Pascal? Then?
Is he not in it?
Do you mean Paul Mescal?
Oh, Mescal. That was, yeah, wrong name.
In fairness, I didn't catch that at all.
I caught it like 5 seconds later. What the fuck?
Super just went along. Oh yeah, I'm seeing at the film festival. Let's go.
Did you get tickets to this? I couldn't get this.
Wow, Seth, you're gonna love this. The day I'm seeing it on October 1st. Right before that, I'm seeing The Boy and the Heron.
Ooh, that's awesome.
When am I seeing The Boy and the Heron? I'm seeing The Boy and the Heron a week after you. Fuck you.
So for the film festival, you have tickets like already for those movies, right? So you have a seat for them.
Yeah. So we bought So we bought our passes like probably a month or two ago. We bought
you bought them in bulk.
We bought the bulk pass. So we got opening night plus 10 movies. So we have a total of 11 films. But I think it was like 2 weeks ago maybe when I don't know what they called it, like priority selection for whoever bought passes opens up. So we were able to go in and like select what movies we actually wanted to watch, and then we got emailed like our barcode ticket.
And I'd imagine they're all like sold out. So there's no waiting outside the theater wait list. Like I would imagine they're all sold out.
Not all of them. Well, I don't know about George, but here there's still going to be a few, like some of the weekday tickets still available for like Priscilla. There's still some available you can probably get on the door, but none of the Killers Follow Me, Boy and the Heron. You have to be like the first 5 minutes to get tickets to those. But there's going to be some you can buy on the door, but like little films, not like huge.
Getting in, like when I was waiting on the queue, and then once I got in to like go select my movies.
How far were you on the queue? Like what were you behind?
I was fed. I was there. I was like maybe like 49. Like I was
like 4,000.
Oh, I was on it. I kept reloading that page because at 12 p.m. like in the middle of the day, they sent us, whoever bought the passes, they sent us like an email with a link. So like I was refreshing my email starting at like 11:58, just going. But the site kept crashing like crazy.
Yeah,
so like
I
don't know if that's telling that maybe there aren't a lot of tickets remaining for like the general public, but the site kept crashing. The numbers were there. I'm stunned that I got every movie that I wanted, 11 for 11, and then 2, I'm stunned that Sophie and I got all 11 of the exact same screenings.
That's nice. You didn't get aggro drift, right?
No.
Sad.
No.
Wow, that's disappointing.
But
I want to see that shit, man.
My starting September 27th, I'm seeing The Creator on the 27th. Then I have 11 film festival movies. In the middle of the film festival, we got tickets to see Foe, the new
Paul Mescal, Saoirse Ronan movie.
Oh,
yeah. That's still available at mine.
13 movies in the span of 14 days. That's Tyler theater going experience right there.
Yeah, Sundance Festival flashbacks. But the thing that I'm confused about is, so Ethan Simi, shout out him, 24 Minutes of A24 Pod. I was on his podcast 2 weeks ago. He's at the New York Film Festival, I believe. I don't know if it's like early for press screenings or something that they're already going, but he posted a picture of the line to get into All of Us Strangers. And I wonder if it's like a press screening, so it's first come, first serve, because I was like, it was like a line around the block, like an insane line. I was like, I thought everyone
gets a line to get seated. Maybe?
Yeah, and I was I thought everyone had tickets already because it was like a line like.
Surely they will.
Right. Yeah. It might just be press screenings where like first come first served. I don't know because he's like got a press pass or whatever.
So for the Oppenheimer screening I went to, there was a line literally wrapped around the block, and like my first thought,
to get in.
Not even to get in. Like my first thought was like, why is there such a long line? Like this is invite only. So what they were doing basically, because of the strike, they had put out an announcement that's like, if people don't show up to this screening because of the strike, because like they're in solidarity, they're just giving tickets to the public.
Really?
So maybe.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So perhaps that's the same thing going on with the New York Film Festival at the screenings that Ethan was at. Maybe it was like, okay, let's say the theater holds 150, and let's say only 100 like critics or certified personnel show up. We have 50 extra tickets to just give out to the public, and whoever's first on that line is going to get in.
Interesting. Well, yeah, I hope you two both have fun at your film festival. I'll be excited to hear what your guys' experiences are like. Yeah. Speaking of film festivals, like Sundance in January, I'm definitely going to try and be going in person. So you guys should try and come out. We should.
Well, I got the invite.
Yeah, you should come. We should get it. We should get a ReelTok Airbnb in Salt Lake City, Utah, up in the mountains.
Oh, okay.
It's like end of January.
Salt Lake City. It's a bit far from me.
Big mountains, snowy town.
Far from me.
Yeah. Close to me.
Yeah,
Salt Lake
you as
City's
well.
nice. Salt Lake City's very nice.
Yeah.
If you want to go skiing or something. Moving on from movie festivals, I think that's all the trailers.
That film looks really good, though. By the way,
All of the
trailers
trailers
looks amazing.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
really
it does.
excited for that. Yeah.
I don't know actors, but it does look good. The last trailer being the Squid Games reality show, and the only reason I put this on is because, like I told you guys, I applied for this, and this is how I found out that I did not get it. They've clearly already filmed, so that's kind of a bummer. They didn't even email me and said like "fuck you." I tried like saying I'd hype up the Squid Games on ReelTok, but Netflix probably has more viewers than ReelTok.
Yeah, they're not pressed about our 3,000 viewers.
Yeah. Moving on to movie news. The biggest news being that the Writers Guild and Actors Guild are hopefully close to a deal with the AMPTP. So there's been a lot of talks recently. I believe they're meeting today. So hopefully by Monday. So we're recording this on Saturday. They met yesterday. They met like the day before. They're meeting today. Hopefully, maybe by Monday, we have a deal. Pay your actors and writers.
Isn't that just the writers, though?
I believe it's just the writers right now. Yeah.
Is it? I thought
Yeah.
they were doing everything in unison.
No, they're doing it separately with the writers with the deal. Yeah.
Okay, well, fuck me, but maybe pay your writers then. But pay
And then pay your writers.
then pay your actors. But hopefully we get some sort of good news. I'm hoping that comes to an end and everyone's happy with the deal. Another big piece of news: happy retirement allegedly to Michael Caine. He deserves a nice shout, a nice like standing O for Mr. Caine. Good career, great actor, and definitely at 90 years old, I would be the fuck out of acting. So good for him. Moving on, just super small things now. Bob Marley, One Love, delayed to February 14, 2024. That's
Didn't even know it was coming out sooner.
Yeah. And then Smile 2 announced for October 2024.
Oh, God.
Smile 2. So we get to smile again, I guess.
That's what I'm talking about.
Can't believe they didn't go for
and
like
then-
frown or something or smirk.
Yeah, frown. Yeah, that was awesome. And then Maxine is said to be a slasher / whodunit.
I don't like that idea. I don't like it.
I like a good whodunit. I like when they're good. I don't love like a Murder on the Orient Express where
Orient
it's
Express.
bad or the
My
Death
guess
on the
already is
Nile with,
Halsey
like,
is the one
Dan
who
Wolfgang.
done it. Halsey did it.
Halsey did it. Okay, that's a good guess.
Early
I'm
predictions?
guessing
Clip this.
Ty West did it. Ty West is going to make an appearance, and he did it. But that's all the movie news. Nothing big, and then some nerd news. Loki now releasing on Thursday nights rather than Friday mornings.
Thank
Kind of following
God.
the Ahsoka. Like they're now releasing at 9 p.m. at night. That's fun.
Fantastic.
I like watching it that night. The Marvels was said to have $100 million budget. And then all of a sudden it was released that it had a $300 million budget.
Surely no one believed it had 100 million.
Well,
It'd be
yeah.
so low.
It was
Do you
like,
know the budget of the creator?
like
90 million?
80 million.
Yeah, 80 million.
Yeah, that shit looks so. I'm
That's
so excited.
absurd.
I'm excited for the creator. That'll be next week. Big sci-fi episode next week. So
I'm
get
so
excited.
excited.
For
Hell
that.
yeah,
I
so
just thought it was funny that it like came out as like 130 million. People freaked out because like
That would be the
Secret
lowest.
Invasion was like 250 million or something, and then it was like
Would that be the
actually-
lowest MCU film ever? Like 130
It
million?
would have
Probably
been,
would be.
yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I bet the old
I'm
stuff
sure-
was probably around 100 million, but now they just spend money on absurd things, it seems, and don't pay their actors and writers. So I don't know where we're spending our money, Marvel. But yeah, now it came out that it's like 277 million, but allegedly 50 or 60 million of that was from Europe. So they only spent about 200 million, but still, that's an absurd amount of money for a movie. That's all the nerd news. Oh, I was scrolling Twitter earlier, and I guess that, do you guys know? I know George does. My Time to Shine. Hello, he's like a scooper, like a leaks guy, basically
Yeah.
saying Gal
Okay.
Gadot is definitely coming back. To
Bro,
the
people
DC.
been ripping him lately.
Really.
He made like a comment that was like he was basically talking about some old guy, and he tweeted like,
Oh yeah, it's what Seth sent, right?
Yeah, that's the thing I sent.
yeah.
Yeah.
He
I don't
basically
even
was
know what
like,
that tweet was about.
I thought that was hilarious. Like, I don't know why people are like, he's absolutely right. Like, if you're in your 85s, it's like, okay.
I don't
you know.
even know who that tweet. I didn't.
Who
know.
is he talking
I
about?
have no idea who he's talking about, but it's just like,
Oh wait, no, I think it was George R. R. Martin. Apparently, that's what it was.
yeah. When he
That's
said,
what it was. Yeah,
Because he said like next year the
he's like
winter is
75.
gonna come out.
Actually, winter. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and he
sure
tweeted
was.
like, "Oh my God, this dude's gonna be like dead before the next book."
I love George R. R. Martin, but at this point, he's not even fucking right.
People defend him way
not.
too much, though. He's like a type of guy that if you say anything bad, like 100,000 people will come at you and be like, "Oh, what? You write a book?" And it's like, come on, like you're allowed to criticize people. Like he's done nothing. He got rich off the TV show, and he just gets fat and eats.
That's
food.
my least favorite thing. Like whenever we criticize a movie and someone's like, "Bro, why don't you try to make a movie?" I'm like, "No, that's why I don't, because I would suck at it."
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I can't tell people they suck at it.
Cam, wait, what was the scoop you said that My Time to Shine? Like,
so Gal Gadot is supposed to is coming back for sure.
In
allegedly.
what?
That's the scoop.
In like life?
Wonder Woman.
Oh.
DCU. Sorry.
Okay.
Wonder Woman. So basically, there were reports saying like she wasn't, and then there were reports saying she was, and he's fairly credible. Or he or she, I honestly don't know. It's an AI account, but it sounds like she's coming back. So
Did you really just say in life?
I don't know. I guess I didn't. I forgot about Wonder Woman. I was like, what is she coming back? Like, is she coming back to the Israeli army? Like, what is she
Max
coming
a
back
cameo in something else.
Oh, it's fucking jokes.
Moving on to what have we been watching? Mr. Take us away. How's the week been in the filmography game?
You say
Who did
Seth?
you ask?
I said Seth. Sorry.
All right, I didn't hear you. Yeah, I watched some quite a lot recently. I watched Man of Steel for the first time.
Yeah, I saw that. That's fun.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, man. I actually enjoyed it more than I thought I would, to be honest. I also watched Doctor Sleep, which I didn't like, which is obviously the Shining sequel.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Not for me. Wasn't a fan.
I
And then
need to watch it.
have you not seen it, Joe? I feel like you'd watch it because obviously it's Mike Flanagan, isn't it? It has his style.
I know.
It just didn't work
to
for
God,
me.
every time I open up HBO Max or just Max, I swear it is the first movie that I always
It's
see.
the same on Netflix. I always see. Yeah.
And every time
apparently, the
I'll-
director's cut is better though. I only watched the normal cut. Apparently, the director's a lot
like
better.
every time I see it, I'm like, oh, maybe I should watch it, and then I'm like, maybe I shouldn't.
Yeah, I watched Past Lives finally. Really like that.
Yeah.
I watched Sanctuary as well, which that was this year, wasn't it? It came out at
Margaret
Sundance.
Qualley
and,
and Christopher.
good film.
Nolan.
Good film. Enjoyed that. Yeah. Oh, I watched American Psycho 2
Yeah, I don't know
with
why.
Mila Kunis.
Why?
I've
Because
never
I want
checked
because
it out.
I was doing a video on it, so I thought, fuck it, I'll just watch it. It's really
I've heard
bad.
of that. I've
Like,
never
it's-
watched it. And
I watched,
they're bad people. So
No, she's canceled now.
she's
Yeah.
canceled now,
Yeah.
which for good
Very
reason.
bad.
Who's canceled? Who's canceled?
Mila Kunis.
Mila Kunis.
Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher wrote
right.
letters.
Big
to,
canceled.
Fuck them
what's
guys.
his name? Who's a fuck?
Yeah.
That's just crazy that they
Danny
Danny
Masterson.
Macherato.
Yeah, crazy.
Masterson? Masterson?
Man,
I think
man.
Masterson.
Yeah, fuck him.
George, have you seen, right, here's an interesting question. Have you seen the Rob Zombie Halloween films?
Yeah.
So I watched it
Don't
yesterday,
don't
the
tell
first
me you like
one.
them. Don't tell me you like
No, but this is the thing, right? I liked the first half, and then I hated the second half.
them. Okay, that's fair.
Like, I don't mind the origin story. It was really weird. I don't know whether I really liked or really hated it. I give it like a 2.5. So I didn't like it, whatever.
Yeah, that's one of
But
my.
it's crazy polarizing
rate
from what I
Rob Zombies came out in what 2007,
Yeah.
and then season.
He did
of
a
the
second
Witch.
one, didn't he?
No. I'm saying I rate Rob Zombie's Halloween and then Season of the Witch very, very low. And every time I mention that, I get slammed, bro.
I've never rated a Rob Zombie film above a 2.5.
They have such a crazy
I just-
cult following. It's unbelievable.
They're not for me.
They're
They're not
yeah,
for me.
they're not
But
for
I
me.
didn't mind it. And then I also watched Kiki's Delivery Service as well.
Yeah.
Gotta go for a few fucking just so great, man. So good. And I also watched Opera as well, which I was speaking to George about. Obviously, Dario Argento's Opera. Really, really cool. Really like that. I actually need to watch more Argento. I've been saying it for a while, man. I don't know. He's just a blind spot for me. I think I might watch like Deep Red.
Yeah, Deep Red. I like. I've been getting.
Tenebrae.
What have I seen from him so far?
Have you seen Tenebrae, George?
No, I watched.
Tenebrae?
So I've seen Suspiria, obviously. I've seen Deep Red.
Yeah.
I've seen Opera, and then I saw his debut feature, The Bird with the Crystal Plumage.
I've seen it. Yeah, I want to watch that one actually as well.
I take, and then I'm sure you disagree, Seth, but I think Opera I take over Suspiria.
It's not like a crazy difference. I just like.
Yeah,
Suspiria a
no,
little
they're
bit
very
more.
close for me, but yeah, I think I.
Well, Opera kind of has a little bit more of kind of
just a savage nature. Just
like some of the sequences in opera, like are fucking weird. It's like crazy.
I so tune out anything with the eyes, man. That's my least favorite. I could watch a dude get decapitated. I could watch someone saw his own arm off. But like, once you get
slowly
anywhere,
putting something in the eye.
once you get anywhere near the eye, I'm like, fuck off. Which is crazy because I put contacts in every day, so I touch my eye.
Yeah, but they're putting these in the eye.
Yeah, but
like
I'm obviously not
eyeball.
stabbing my eye.
yeah. And then final thing I watched was I rewatched Silence, which is now my favorite Scorsese because I love it.
I think that's your favorite just movie.
Yeah, you've been.
It is crazy. Like, so I watched it like this year for the first time. I think I've watched it like 2 times since, or 3 times this year. And it's kind of one of those that like I just want to keep watching over and over again. I just I know you
tweeted it, but you're really intrigued with religion films.
Yes, I was about to say this. It's so weird. Like my top 2 of 2010s are First Reformed and Silence, and I don't consider myself an atheist. I'm definitely agnostic, but I'm not like.
Sorry, I've never.
Have you seen Iron?
No.
I don't know what it is. Like I just really enjoy films about faith. I just find religion a really interesting concept, even though I'm not interested in getting it myself. But I did actually tweet that, Tyler, and people were replying saying like maybe you should become religious. Like
you also love Signs, and that's a very religious-based film, or like faith.
It is, yeah. No, it's not really my interest. I just like learning about that sort of thing. But yeah, it's been I've watched a fair few things recently. Some pretty good stuff, to be fair.
Seth, if you want to continue in religion, there's a very biblical lens, I would say. Are
you gonna say like a Zack Snyder?
Yeah, Zack Snyder's Justice League. It's very.
Well, I will get to it.
Super biblical in nature. I think you'll like it a lot.
Actually, I was going to ask you because the Justice League.
Yeah,
you gotta watch.
Is it Justice League?
Don't watch the.
You gotta watch them both.
Justice League that's not DCEU, is it? Is it?
Yeah, it's the same exact
first
thing.
one. It didn't come up on the thing.
It's not. Okay. Zack Snyder's
they're the
Justice
same
League is not
movie.
a separate movie. It's the same movie, but
a lot more content and different.
Here we go.
All right.
Okay.
Zack Snyder's daughter.
Why am I going to watch
away.
both then?
No. Okay. That exactly. That's why I'm saying you can watch it for the memes, but don't watch it. But basically, Zack Snyder was always the original director of Justice League, but mid-production, his daughter, tragically passed away via suicide. So he left the production, and they brought in Joss Whedon to finish it up. Joss Whedon took a shit all over that production.
Did he do Age of Ultron? Is that guy?
Yes.
Age of Ultron
and the original Avengers, yeah.
And the original Avengers movie. So
I just watch the Zack Snyder's one?
Yes, because then months down the line, or maybe years after, basically news came out that like Zack Snyder had a movie, like he has a movie, and he's just not releasing it. So that's when the release the Snyder cut bullshit started to happen.
Was that an only stream?
It went straight to HBO.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I will go through the DCU slowly, eventually.
It's just a re-edited version of his movie.
It's so.
It's way longer.
Is there a black and white version?
Yeah,
there's a black and white version. Justice is Gray. Watch that. That'll be a 5 out of 5 for you.
Isn't it like 7 hours long though or some shit?
It's only 4. It's only 4, bro.
Only 4.
Only 4. You watch Barry Lyndon every other week.
I've watched Barry Lyndon like twice, fucking like the year. Barry Lyndon is like under 3 hours. Well, what are we talking about here? Cam, it's where you get to the 4 hour mark. It's crazy.
Cam, you can't be telling Seth to watch the Whedon cut because when
I think you gotta watch.
No, because he barely watches superhero films. You got to take the wins when you get them. You can't force more onto him. He's watching them. Take the W's.
Just everyone. What if he doesn't like it?
Well, I liked Man of Steel, and that's pretty like I liked Man of Steel.
Well, Seth,
I'm a Zack Snyder kind of guy.
You loved Man of Steel. Actually,
I did like see. You all know Nalbus or Nalbus, however it's pronounced.
James.
Yeah, is that his real name?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. I've never talked to him. I just follow him on Twitter. He follows me. The only reason I follow him is because like I called him out on a tweet or something. And I think that's like one of the only times I've been upset about someone's tweet. And I DM'd him and was like, sorry, I did that.
He's a nice guy, to be fair.
Yeah, he's probably is. Yeah. He tweeted like someone tweeted, why is Man of Steel so low rated? And it was interesting because he did reply, and it's like you got to think like
times.
You got to think Rotten Tomatoes at that time it was refreshing to see the Avengers because it was like a more fun version and now we're in the opposite land where everyone wants a non-Avengers where it's like a depressing superhero movie because we've gotten so many MCU.
It wasn't that time. Yeah.
It was like a refreshing take on the superhero genre, which was an interesting like little thing that I never thought of. So, shout out him. But yeah, I do like Man of Steel.
Nice tonal shift.
I think you'll enjoy
Dude, you're
Zack
gonna,
Snyder's
you're
Justice
gonna
League.
love
The rest of the
Zack
DCEU,
Snyder's
in my
League.
opinion, I don't know if you'll love.
You're gonna love. Whenever you watch it, can you let me know and I'll watch it at the exact same time as you, and then we can like text. I can get like a live reaction. We can FaceTime.
That's just gonna be like, this sucks, man.
We could FaceTime for 4 hours.
Well, this is the thing, boys. I've seen 3 Zack Snyder films now, and I've liked them all. So maybe.
Yeah, because he's a good filmmaker.
Maybe you just love slow-mo.
Maybe
that's it.
Maybe, yeah.
Mr. Tyler, what you been watching?
I've been watching quite a bit. So rewatched all the 4 Toy Story films to finally get those rated. No hot takes from me there. Except, I don't know. I feel like people are 50-50 on Toy Story or not. I feel like it's a 33% split mostly between 1, 2, and 3 of what people's favorites are. Maybe 2 being the consensus favorite. My favorite's the 3rd.
I thought 3 was the
consensus. Shout out you, Tyler.
My favorite's the 3rd. The second one is not far behind though, and then first is my 3rd. But again, the first 3 are great. The 4th didn't love, not just because the classic. They should have stopped the franchise at 3, which they should have. But also I just thought it wasn't that interesting of a movie.
Yeah, it does kind of annoy me when people just critique it. Like, I don't mind if you don't like Toy Story 4, but it is kind of annoying when it's just like the only critique people have is this shouldn't have been made. I think it's good. I think it's fine. I think like 3.5. I think it's enjoyable.
And I like what they tried to go for, like with like the toys live on past Andy's life. They go to a new owner, but it just didn't work for me.
Yeah.
Watch the same criticism with like The Incredibles too. People are like, why did it need to be made?
I like The Incredibles.
I like it too. In my head, I'm honestly stunned. There's only 2 incredible movies, given how successful both of them have been.
Yeah, crazy successful.
That's one of my first memories of like movies is watching the first Incredibles like as a little kid. Then the ending happens, and then me as a little 7-year-old boy like, man, that's an exciting ending. Can't wait for the sequel in like a year or 2 to like
the Underminer.
Like it ends on such a cliffhanger, and the fact that it's so long after is wild. I rewatched. I'm trying to go through. I'm slowly going through Jake Gyllenhaal's full filmography to get them all rated. I rewatched The Sisters Brothers. I'd already seen it, but just a crazy stacked cast for a movie that no one's heard of. Like Jake Gyllenhaal.
Is that the one you tweeted about?
Yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal and Joaquin Phoenix, plus Riz Ahmed and John C. Reilly. Just a crazy cast for a Western.
That is a really good cast.
The fact that Gyllenhaal and Phoenix are in a film together alone and that like no one's watched is just kind of crazy.
Did any good? Yeah. I forget if I've seen this or not.
It's very okay. It's a 3.5. It's not okay. It's good. It's not great though. And then some plane movies. So on the way to Seattle, watched Madagascar with Riley. Solid little fun movie. Then on the way back, watched Little Women, which is just also on the way there. Little Women is just like starting to become like a go-to plane movie for me, just like La La Land is. Rewatched The Big Sick, sad movie. What were you saying?
Great.
I was gonna say Little Women, top tier Christmas movie.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely falls into that category. Now that I'm watching more, I can see why people categorize it there. And then sometimes, when you're in like a little movie rut where like you're just not feeling like the new movies or like you just got to play the hits. You just got to refresh yourself. So I had a banger day where I watched.
Oh yeah, I saw you this week.
Good Will Hunting, The Grand Budapest Hotel, Another Round, all back to back to back, and then Kingsman: The Secret Service as well. Just like movies I love where I'm just like, let's just get a palate cleanser. And then we dove right back into the muck with Expend4bles.
Yeah, you
2.
Need one.
Yeah,
with some of your releases.
It's just I'm a big completion guy, and there's just so many franchise films coming out, so I'm just like knocking them all off. Like I was doing all the Equalizer films, and now I do all the Expend4bles movies, and I'm going through the Saw franchise. I watched Under the Skin, Jonathan Glazer. I think I'm going to become like a massive Glazer.
Good film.
Fanboy.
I need to rewatch that.
Yeah, quite enjoyed it. Definitely very like doesn't hold your hand at all. The opposite of holding your hand. Just like it just drops.
How are you
into
finding the Saw films,
dude? Saw 4 through 6, just
same movie.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you now. I watched them a couple days ago. I couldn't tell you the difference between them. Like literally, I'm not even kidding. I said this in my review. Saw 5. I'm not even kidding because I was watching it while like working on stuff on the other monitor. There was multiple times I checked what I was watching. I was like, did I restart Saw 4? Because I just kept feeling like I was seeing the same scenes. As like, I thought I was going crazy. I was like, these movies are the same. But Saw 1 and 2, 2 is meh, but 1 was great.
1 is good.
I think one's really good, two's like okay, and then the rest are just like this is the same.
They just all blend together. But I mean, the thing, they came out like every single year, so I feel like it kind of makes sense. They just had to rinse and repeat the footage. But the thing is, like, I like when a franchise is able to grow, and this one isn't. Like, the editing style was cool in the first one, and the second one's fine. Like the whole like quick flashy cuts and the whole montage at the end, but it just gets so bland after same thing. It's like I want something fresh here. So I've heard good things honestly about Saw 10. Like the early reactions are saying it's quite good.
Yeah.
So yeah, getting to the Saw franchise, watched Signs, really enjoyed it. Honestly, I'm like kind of thinking 4 stars is too low because I actually really, really liked it. And I think if I rewatch it, like it could go all the way up to 5. Who knows? Like I really, really like Signs. Mel Gibson's probably best performance in my opinion. Especially the final.
Yeah, I'd say so.
The final act, he really blew me away with his acting. And then yesterday got a couple 2023 releases out of the way. Watched Cassandra, which was a Sundance film I wasn't able to get to. It's now on Prime Video. About a luchador wrestler who is kind of like a queer icon. Quite good. I really enjoyed it. The IMDb was really low, and I'm like, I have a suspicion. And then I clicked on the IMDb and saw the rating distribution. I'm like, that's why it's low, because there's 10,000 0-star reviews because people review bombing it because there's a queer guy in it. And then obviously Expend4bles and Bottoms, which you talked about. But yeah, it's been watching some good movies lately, playing the hits, but man, these Saw movies just blend together, and I still have like 4 to get through before the 10th, and at least they're like an hour and a half, but even like the kills are getting less interesting too. I feel like the first 2 had some like genuinely.
You don't even have to watch them all.
Are you gonna watch
one and you've watched all of them?
Yeah,
no, don't watch Spiral.
I'll watch Spiral because that's like part of the 10 franchise. That's like Saw 8 technically, right? Or Saw 9.
Oh, it's so shit.
Or wait.
Is there is there a 5, but I don't hate it.
There's a Spiral.
There's Jigsaw as well,
right? Okay.
There's a Jigsaw as well. Yeah.
So is it
Jigsaw's terrible?
Is there Saw 6, then Saw 7, then Spiral and Jigsaw, now Saw 10, or I don't know? Is there all?
Yeah,
Saw?
I think so. I think Jigsaw was 2017.
Are you gonna watch the previous Paw Patrol movie in preparation for the new?
Not
Paw
gonna
Patrol
lie,
movie?
because like I like to plan out what movies I'm like. Sometimes I just throw on a movie that I'm feeling, but I kind of like to plan what movies off my watch list I'm watching for the week. And not gonna lie, I was planning my week for next week, and it crossed my mind to add the Paw Patrols in there. Didn't make the cut though. The Paw Patrols are not.
There's loads of Paw Patrol films. What?
I didn't even
really?
know.
I thought this was like the sequel.
I've seen the TV show a lot.
They're like 45 minutes. Some of them.
I think it might be like TV movies that are now making the big screen. But
my niece loves Paw Patrol, so I've seen.
That's all I've been watching.
I don't know what it is.
George, what you been watching?
Yeah, still just horror kick really, with a bunch of new releases and a few rewatches in there. A couple Alex Coleman recommendations. I watched The Burning, Jeepers Creepers, and where was the other one? Sleepaway Camp.
The Burning. What's The Burning?
It was this like 1981. It was kind of like this.
Is it a slasher?
Yeah, it was boring. It was slasher. It was just very. It was like I was on a big like summer camp slasher type of vibe, like American Horror Story 1984 type thing. But this one just didn't hit really for me. Unfortunately, neither did Sleepaway Camp. I didn't really much like that. They were just a whole lot of genre cliches. They didn't really do anything to like,
There's a lot of them that kind of mash into one for me.
Yeah, it's like all of those that have like a 3.1 average on Letterboxd.
Yeah,
They're good, fun watches for what they are, but they're never going to be revisited. I really did like Jeepers Creepers, though. I will say that was genuinely like I was shocked.
Is that the one with
Justin Long?
Justin Long.
Yeah, Justin Long. I enjoyed that a lot. One of the better. The Creeper, as he's called, one of like the better, I think, slasher villains out there. He's
it's cool.
He's no Freddy, Jason, Michael, but he's definitely he's refreshing and unique enough compared to the other slashers that we've got that I enjoyed him.
I think it's cool.
Watched Steel Magnolias. Shout out my mom for that recommendation. That's one of her favorite films. I absolutely loved it. That was a 4.5 for me. That shit had me crying, laughing. That shit had me feeling euphoric. It was just a really intimate, small-scale, beautiful story of this salon and these customers and just kind of what they go through day to day. Had me fucking crying like crazy, man. Finally, Seth, you like The Strangers 2, right? The second one. Prey.
Yeah, the first one. You didn't like the first one.
I gave it a 2.5. I didn't hate it, but I feel like at this point in horror, we're so like, we've had some really stunning like home invasion films, like You're Next. So like this one just didn't do anything for me because I think I've just been blessed with like loving the home invasion genre a lot over the last couple of years. I said in my Letterboxd review that the movie like never breaks a mold, and everyone kept commenting like, can't break a mold when you were the one that made it, or like you were the one that created it.
I guess so.
So I guess that's my fault for not realizing that was like one of the first like big home invasion films. Obviously,
I think it's like very much okay. I'm like very much the minority on the sequel.
Oh, well, that's the only reason I watched the first one, because I'm going to watch the second one. But yeah, the first one for me,
the second.
I'm sure, but I guess I still I didn't want to cheap out. But the first one to me just felt like 70% of the movie we were just watching these characters hide. Like that's it, and like it was scary at first, like watching them like hide in a corner of a closet and cry, the knocks, the walking, but like that fright from that died down after like the third or fourth instance for me.
Yeah, the second one's a lot more kind of like very much a modern slasher.
Yeah.
So you might enjoy it. I don't know.
I liked it. The Batman rewatched, obviously just a monthly rewatch at this point. Barbarian rewatched. Scary Movie I rewatched. I watched The Slumber Party Massacre and Brain Dead. Brain Dead was Peter Jackson, actually, in 1992.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, I'm very much in the minority on it, so don't take my review too seriously. But it just felt like the most Sam Raimi Evil Dead wannabe, and like that's the only thing I was thinking about the entire time I was watching this movie. Everything from like the quirkiness to the editing choices to the shot selections, it's very, from the comedy, it was just very Sam Raimi's Evil Dead, and like it just felt like I don't want to say cheap knockoff, because the design and the practical effects were still fantastic, but it did feel like it's just a cheap knockoff of the Evil Dead, and I don't know, just didn't sit well with me. And then 2 shorts I wanna plug. Neil Blomkamp, 2 shorts, Raqqa and Firebase, both from 2017. Watch them. They are basically 2 Love, Death, and Robots episodes in live action. Raqqa is way more of a war film with an extraterrestrial invasion, very District 9-esque, except just more like war centric.
District 9 bangs.
District 9 does bang. And then Firebase, pretty much the same thing. Vietnam War. He has like this very like keen and like unique eye for like this apocalyptic, dirty kind of like filmmaking, and those 2 shorts were solid. Gonna watch more of his shorts. Seth, watch Angst, please. Gerard Cargill.
I've seen it.
Oh, you have seen it. What do you give it?
Yeah. I watched this
rated.
years. I watched Angst years ago, because I remember one of my friends like said it was like a disturbing movie. It's a really famous disturbing movie. They asked me to watch it.
Man.
Really good, but it's been like 4 or 5 years, I want to say. So
Dude,
I probably do need to rewatch it.
Jaw on the floor the entire time. It was so.
Some of the shots are really cool.
That's the thing. Like, this movie doesn't do anything like. There's no flair to it. It's so
it's very simplistic.
Fucking creepy, and like what they want to show you, they commit to it. Like, they don't pull any punches. It was just a brutal watch. Across the Spider-Verse rewatch, Ahsoka, Bottoms, and then we'll talk about Sorry to Bother You later this week.
Yep. So yeah, George kind of teased it. Our real quick review of the week this week is Sorry to Bother You. So I watched that. I won't drain what I watched. Like, I don't have to get into it too much. We need to get moving a little bit. But The Haunting of Hill House was like big watch of the week. That took up most of my time.
I'm gonna watch that.
Show. That's just so goddamn
good.
It's like, in my opinion, it's the gold standard of horror, because like I hate horror, but it's just fantastic.
Seth, you've never seen Hill House, right?
What?
Seth, you've seen it, right?
Have you seen The Haunting of Hill House?
What? Do you know what? We had this conversation. I've seen The Haunting of Hill House like 5 times.
Oh, when did we have
George,
that conversation?
one of the first conversations we've ever had was how good Haunted of Hill House is. I'm not even joking right now.
What was that, like a year and a half ago? I don't remember.
Well, yeah, bro, you guys. I love Haunted. I think Haunted of Hill House is amazing. I love it. It's great.
I think everyone can agree it's fantastic. I think everyone I follow has it.
Blind Minor's Manners Math though.
Yeah, I agree. I don't like Blind Manor.
Stop. I like Blind
You don't
Manor.
like. I like Blind Manor.
Midnight Club or whatever.
Midnight Mass.
Fine.
I didn't watch that one.
Midnight Mass is. I go Hill House, Midnight Mass, and Bly Manor.
Same.
I liked Bly Manor. I thought Bly Manor was good.
The reviews from
the House of Usher,
the new one,
all of the House of Usher looks good. The reviews are good. So that took up a lot of my time. Also, Emma and I have just been grinding like some Grey's Anatomy. Love good Grey's Anatomy through the first like 12 seasons. It's good, and then it just drops off a cliff like crazy. Bottoms
through the first 12 seasons.
Yeah, I mean it's like shit TV for the first 12 seasons.
Yeah, I don't watch it all the time.
You can get into it, and then after that, it just like becomes even shitter TV.
Are you allowed? Are you allowed to use the word first and then follow it by 12 seasons?
I mean, yeah, it's got 19, so there's 7 more. Just I don't know. I like the first 12 seasons. Like
I tweeted yesterday the video of me showing Christopher Nolan my Dark Knight tattoo. Did I ever tell that story on the pod? Because people keep DMing me asking for a segment.
You spoke to us, but you didn't speak on the pod.
So
that was around
wait,
the time
hold on, because someone actually asked that on a patron Q&A, but we'll answer. You can tell the story right here, but I just want to shout out.
I'll do it on the patron Q&A.
Okay. Well, I was just gonna shout out who asked it. Just all
right, dude. All right, I'll do it now.
So yeah, let me just quickly find this. Who commented it? Christopher Nolan. How did George meet Christopher Nolan?
Christopher Nolan commented it? Crazy.
Shout out Brady Miller. One of our patrons, Brady Miller, asked this question that we would be answering on Wednesdays real quick. But since George is going to tell the story, I might as well shout out. So Brady Miller getting a full shout out on the episode. Let's hear the story.
It's a quick story. It's not like the Robert Pattinson story. Basically, we were at the after party of the Oppenheimer screening. And obviously, none of the actors were there. This was very early strike. So I didn't even know Christopher Nolan was going to be there. So we just walked into the after party, which was at a... it was at a museum in New York. I forgot. I think it was like the Natural History Museum or something or whatever. So we walk in. The place was really cool, designed really cool. A lot of like cool like Oppenheimer teases around the place. We get dinner. We're kind of hanging out. One of like my TikTok like pals was there. So we were just kind of sitting in a group, chatting, eating. And at the one point, one of them looks at me and goes, "Hey, Christopher Nolan's here." And I'm like, "Shut the fuck up. No, he's not." So we turn around and we were like, okay, where is he? Like, we could not find this man. And it was a pretty small room. Like, you could see, like, every corner of the room. So I was like, where the fuck is he? So we start walking around, and then we go to, like, this upper level. It was, like, 2 stairs, not even that upper. And we see, like, this massive group of people, and we're like, all right, he's got to be in there. So we walked up to it, and he's there. And this other guy that I was with, we kind of, like, worked our way closer to Nolan. Victoria and this other guy's, I believe, girlfriend, they stayed back just because there was a lot of people there. They obviously don't much care to meet Christopher Nolan the way that me and him did. So we're like standing like 5 feet away from him. I shit you not, probably for like 15, 20 minutes. Like so many people kept coming up to him and like just talking, introducing themselves. But then at one point he like stops one conversation, turns around, and like we meet face to face. And that's when I quickly just like shook his hand. I told him like he's a big inspiration of mine. And then I showed him my Dark Knight tattoo. And he thought it was cool. He asked what we do. And I didn't want to tell Christopher Nolan that I was a TikToker. So I said I was a movie critic. I did not want to tell Christopher Nolan that I was a TikToker.
You could have just said like you create content.
Yeah, I could have said that. But that was pretty much it. Once it was a quick like 30, 45 second. What did I forget?
Who else did you see there? Wait, did you see Paul Schrader?
Oh yes, Paul Schrader was there. Yes. I did not see him. Paul Schrader, I hate to say it, is not a face I would recognize if I just saw him in public. But yeah, that was it. It was a really very quick 30, 45 second conversation. Showed him my Dark Knight tattoo. He liked it, and awesome.
Time to get into our movie Jeopardy segment. So Cam had to leave the show. He's got some dad things to do. So it's just going to be George versus Seth today. Tyler, myself as the host, as the reigning, defending Jeopardy champion with a runaway victory. It's only fair.
All right, bro. Okay, we get it.
To remove myself. So shout out Isaac Hirschberger again for making these. These are super fun. I have not looked at any of these questions. We have the Real Close collection. We have franchise foes, movie title mashup, portrayals of the past, and celebrity name mashup. So George, you got your wish. Celebrity name mashup is back. We also got movie title mashup. I'm guessing Real Close collection is going to be stuff we like Three of us is a 5, and maybe one of us is a 4.5.
4.5.
And then franchise foes, don't really know what that's going to be. And portrayals of the past, maybe remakes of older movies, but we'll see. So reminder for Jeopardy. What we're going to do, since we're using a different recording software, is basically George or Seth is going to say got it. After I finish reading the entire question, one of you will say got it. And remember, if you answer, like if you say got it, you have to answer. And if you get it wrong, you lose points. So that don't just try to, family feud it where you just kind of try to answer everything. So let's just jump right into it. I'm going to be honest, it's my first time hosting the Jeopardy. So I'm going to hope everything works well for this game that Isaac created for us. But let's go ahead and jump right into it. So flipping a virtual coin, it lands, flip it on my hand. Seth, you get the first pick for which category you want to go for. Take it away.
Okay. I'll go 300 real close collection.
Starting with the 300s.
This pre-2000 sports drama shot in Seth's favorite color palette of black and white received a 4.5-star rating from all ReelTok members.
Got it.
It's got it.
George.
Oh, I said,
what is Raging Bull?
fuck you, man.
All right, let's see how I can reveal the answer.
Spacebar.
Spacebar.
Oh, got it. What is Raging Bull? George.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Good job.
Easy W.
Good job. All right, I think I know how to work this now. So that means it goes to George. George, you can pick the next category.
Yes. I'm very curious for this movie title mashup, so we'll go for that for 100. Start easy.
Movie title mashup, 100. A teenage boy, with the help of an older eccentric mentor, uses a time-traveling car to travel to a faraway galaxy and confront his evil, estranged father in a duel.
Got it.
Seth.
Fuck, man. Why have I done that? What is Back
it.
to the Galaxy? I don't fucking know. Back to the God.
No, I got it. I was gonna say The Empire Strikes Back to the Future.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know how stealing
I
was.
can't lie. I thought it was
Damn.
Guardians of the Galaxy. I thought it was Guardians of the Galaxy 2 in the second bit. That's so stupid.
Sorry, George.
Crazy.
Sorry, George. What is The Empire Strikes Back to the Future? That's my bad. But now I'm on track. I'm on track as a host. I'll be better. So since no one won that one, George, you get to pick the next category again.
I'll go for movie title mashup 200.
Movie title mashup 200. A basketball-playing golden retriever overtakes a prison transport plane and stages an escape after landing in the desert. I know the first one. I don't know the second.
I know the first one too. Wait, a basketball player?
What the hell's a dog?
Yeah,
What?
I know that movie, but what the hell is the second one? All right.
Well, yeah. What's the
5.
second? Wait. Hold on.
3 seconds.
Okay.
George?
Okay. Con Air Bud. What is Con Air Bud?
Oh, good pull.
I haven't even
What is-
seen
Yeah.
Con Air.
I was confused because like the Air Bud was
What's
first.
the other film?
Con Air.
I was that's what I was thinking Air Bud and
Right.
then something.
I was like, what the hell?
What are the
Yeah.
films here? What are the films?
Con Air
and
and Air Bud.
I haven't seen either of them.
You've never heard of
sounds
Air
like a
Bud?
Zoo problem, bro.
George with the win. George,
Watch more
next
movies,
category.
bro.
Next category.
Movie title mashup 300.
I'm not gonna.
After finding evidence of aliens in a briefcase in the wreckage of an intergalactic drug deal in the desert, a man is hunted down by a psychopathic killer and a secret government agency sworn to protect the aliens.
I don't know, man.
After finding evidence of aliens.
This is tough. I have no idea either film.
Psychopath killer. And
There's too many words in my brain. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm thinking something with Men in Black, but I really don't know.
All right.
Yeah,
no one got it.
No.
What is No Country for Old
Oh!
Men?
Shit. Yeah, that makes
damn.
sense. Yeah.
That's a good one. That's creative.
Damn.
All right,
George,
George.
fucking creative.
pick
I don't
a
know you thought
category.
that. That's
That's
crazy.
so annoying. We'll go franchise foes for 100.
Why did George get to pick again? You got
Because
it wrong.
he's the latest one who
No,
got
I
it
didn't.
right.
I didn't
though.
answer.
He didn't answer. But he's
okay.
Yeah, I
it's
didn't
until
answer.
someone else gets it right, then
okay.
he gets it.
Yeah.
So George is gonna pick the whole time.
This superhero
What? Got it.
franchise. This superhero franchise had villains played by Willem Dafoe, Alfred Molina, and Topher Grace. And
Got it.
Seth, you got to wait till the answer. The question's fully read. So George, you get first.
Fuck! Give me
I
the
mean,
100, man.
I'm assuming they're looking for what is Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy.
What is
Okay.
Sam Raimi's Spider-Man? Yep. George, next one.
I hate this.
I'll go franchise foes for 200.
This action franchise has a stellar villain gallery with Philip Seymour Hoffman, Sean Harris, and Henry Cavill each getting a turn.
Got it.
Got it. Give me that shit.
No,
I got that.
George got it by a hair.
Wait, no, on mine it sounded like I got it.
I will.
No, on mine it actually sounded like I was like 3 seconds before. No.
I will start to account for the lag because the UK and far away, so I'll start to count for that going forward. So people listening, if it's close and George gets it by a little bit, I'm going to start giving it to Seth because I know there is.
Give it me then.
But no,
this
one's George though. From now on, I'll be better.
What? I genuinely seriously, I'm not lying. On my end, I was like 2 seconds before.
Yeah,
I
on
got
my
that.
end,
That's not my fault.
Yeah.
That's not my fault.
I know.
Well
I'll account
That's
for it.
crazy.
I'll account for it going forward.
That's
George,
crazy.
George,
Yeah, but this is the only one that I'll get right in the whole fucking board. I need these points.
George, get your
What is-
points.
That's crazy.
What is Mission Impossible?
What is Mission Impossible?
That's crazy.
All right. So now everyone listening, just know that if you hear George first by like 2 seconds, I'm gonna.
Yeah, and you'll still give it him. That doesn't matter.
George, what do you got next?
I'll go movie title mashup for 400. I like
A
this
socially inept genius capable of counting toothpicks in seconds discovers he has superpowers and defends Earth against invaders from his home planet.
Oh, I know the first one. I know the first one. Fuck.
I actually know this one. I'm gonna guess it if you guys don't get it.
I don't know. Hold on. A socially inept genius capable blah blah blah. In seconds, discovers he has superpowers and defends Earth against invaders from.
I'm actually stoked that I got this one.
Shit.
I have no idea.
I have no
All
idea.
right. What is Rain Man of Steel?
Ah,
Bam.
I knew Rain Man. How did I not get Man of Steel?
I haven't seen Rain Man.
Fuck. I'll go Real Close Collection for 200.
This holiday classic received a 4.5 star rating from all ReelTok members, although Seth did give the sequel a 5-star rating.
Got
it.
Seth.
Oh, no.
No, that one Seth
What is
definitely.
Home Alone?
I said
What
that
is Home Alone?
so before Seth. That was unbelievable.
Seriously, I'm not lying. On mine, I'm like seconds before you. Seriously, no, like it's like Tyler. When we did this with Kian as well, it was the same thing. I was like so far behind.
Yeah, that's
him.
when I
It was
learned
really weird.
my lesson was that you and Kian were like getting my feedback way off time. So yeah, next Seth, you get to pick the next category.
Real Close Collection 500.
Ooh. This foreign film released within the last 10 years received a 4.5 star rating from all ReelTok members. Very vague.
Got
It could be any.
George.
Really? You got it.
I mean, this is an absolute assumption and a poll because I think Seth gives us a 5 out of 5, so I might be losing these points. What is Portrait of a Lady on Fire?
Yeah, you're wrong. It's not.
Decision to leave.
I was gonna say Decision to Leave. I swear to God. No, what the fuck? Tyler, I swear to God, I was gonna say what is Decision to Leave.
Well,
I promise you, I was gonna say what is Decision to Leave.
it's okay. It's okay.
This guy's trying to fuck me out of so many points. It's crazy. I didn't even get a guess.
Yeah, we should get. Yeah, the other person should get a chance to guess.
I
Okay.
swear to God, I was gonna say what is Decision to Leave. I promise you.
All right. Well,
That's crazy.
I promise you I will be better on the next one.
I've got fucked out of 700 points.
It's
in
still
this
neck
game.
and neck. Seth, you get to pick the next category.
Yeah, now it's neck and neck.
Well, it doesn't matter what I pick. I'll still get it wrong according to you. Real Close Collection 400.
This Oscar-nominated film depicting an aging outlaw coming to grips with his mortality received a 4.5 star rating from all ReelTok members.
Aging Outlaw. That's getting me. Aging Outlaw is getting me.
Wow, what?
Coming to grips with his mortality.
I'm stumped on this one too. But we've
I
all
think
reviewed it at 4.5.
Yeah, the movie I have in my head, I don't think I give a 4.5, so I'm not going to guess that. Oscar-nominated
All right,
film. depicting
3
an
seconds.
aging Outlaw?
I'm not gonna get it.
What is this, like Rango or something?
What is Puss in Boots?
Yeah, man.
I love
No
that. though.
way.
That got me thinking of some I was thinking of some Western or some shit.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah,
thinking.
that's one that if you gave me 24 hours to think, I would have never come up with.
I would have never
but
pulled
it is
that.
valid. It is valid. Seth, next category.
Oh, my God.
Real Close Collection 100. That's the only one.
This swashbuckling adventure movie from 2003 received a 4.5 star rating from all ReelTok members.
Got it.
Seth.
Got it. What is Pirates of the Caribbean: Curse of Black Pearl?
Yeah, good pull.
Seth with
How is that's
Christensen.
100? Fuck's fuck's sake, man.
Good pull.
We are a 100-point game about halfway through. Seth, next category. Everyone's avoiding this.
I'll go
Yeah.
I'll go franchise foes 300.
Despite capable actors such as Charlize Theron and Idris Elba playing villains, this franchise's latest films have mostly poor ratings from the ReelTok crew.
Got it.
George, that one was close. That was really close. But
Really? What? Oh my god, it sounds like me.
What is the Fast and Furious?
Seth, do you have a guess other than that? Or was that?
Wow,
was
that
that
right?
No, I was gonna.
Well, I don't.
I was gonna say Fast and
I don't
Furious.
get to see the answer unless I reveal it. So that's why, like, you have to give me. So
I was gonna say Fast and Furious.
Okay.
So, yeah.
What is Fast?
Okay, I was gonna say if I was like, what other franchise did both of them play a villain?
Because I think the problem
Jesus.
is that I shared the screen and Cam had it on his. So like Cam was able to see the answers without it being shown,
Yeah.
but I'm sharing the screen. So yeah,
That's when you got to pull out the iPad, man, get it up.
That's why
Wait,
I wasn't.
do you think I should say got it when you're like not finished? Because on my side, I'm saying it like second.
If I were you strategically, when I'm on like the third to last word, if you know it right away, I would say got it, because I think that would be right.
So I'm getting all of these.
That's so whack.
I'll
go franchise foes for 400.
Benjamin Bratt, Jason Segel, and South Park co-creator Trey Parker lent their voices as villains in this animated franchise.
Jason
Got it.
Segel.
Seth.
I do not have this. What the fuck, man? What am I doing?
You need-
Cars.
Cars.
What is
George,
Cars?
George, do you have a secondary guess?
Oh,
Because
Yes.
I know what Benjamin Bratt's been in,
I don't even know that.
I don't know who
to be
that is.
completely
but like
honest.
I don't know if Jason Segel was in this.
Well, just
How
guess
many
it.
is this for?
Oh, well-
400. All right, it's okay if I get this right. It's not like I'm losing. I'm gonna go with what is Despicable Me.
Ooh,
oh, fuck off, man.
what a pull.
I only knew
Jesus
Benjamin
Christ.
Bratt. I did not know Jason Segel was in that.
I don't
know
know.
who
I'll
Benjamin
I'll
Bratt
continue
is.
with franchise foes. We'll cap that off at 500.
This franchise adapted from novels had Dakota Fanning and Bryce Dallas Howard as minor villains.
Bryce Dallas Howard.
Dakota Fanning?
Dakota Fanning.
Didn't know either of them had villains in their bag.
What the fuck? I know what Dakota Fanning was. Okay, I got
I've
it.
got a guess, but I don't want to say that.
All right,
Yeah,
well,
I
George,
got
George, what's your guess?
I'm gonna go with what is Twilight.
No, that's what I was gonna say. If that's right, I swear.
Shout
to
out
God.
Victoria for just.
I'm gonna be
making me
so annoyed
watch
if that's right.
That is right.
for Victoria.
I honestly-
Victoria just made me watch Breaking Dawn part.
I'm
1.
dead. That's the only franchise I could think of. But I was scared of losing.
I was trying to
500,
think of
so I
like
was
what recent and then
man.
novels. I was like Harry Potter.
I've seen all of those movies and just don't remember them,
Percy
in them at all.
Jackson. Because who else is in that? Anna Kendrick is in that. That name also like came out of
Yeah.
nowhere. I'll go movie title mashup for 500. We'll rack this off.
A crew of young teenage thieves are set to sabotage several Las Vegas casinos until they wake up one morning and discover they have aged overnight.
Got it.
Seth. Seth.
I don't know how to. I know the two films, but I don't know how to do it. Like,
Well, they should link together, one of them ending with the first of the last one.
wait.
3 seconds. Wait, where'd he go?
Sorry, I bailed. I don't fucking know.
All right.
I don't know.
Well, you'll lose points. But George, do you have a guess or no?
Like I
I'm gonna
know,
lose anyway.
I know one of the movies, and it's obviously I'm not gonna say it, but no, I'm not gonna waste my pull.
All right.
I'm very curious to see this. It's hot.
Well,
Why did I do
Ocean's
that?
13 going
Oh
on
my-
30.
Oh, thank
What's
God.
going on? I thought it was Hangover.
Yeah, I was thinking Hangover or
Same.
Hot Tub Time
Yeah.
Machine.
Can this guy pick films I've seen, please?
We'll go Portrayals of the Past for 100.
In Netflix's The Crown, Prince Charles is played by Dominic West, a native of this city, perhaps the greatest city in the history of the known universe. So does anyone know where Isaac Hirschberger's from? Because I feel like this is probably his city. I don't know.
I mean, I'll let Seth guess. I don't know. I feel like he should get this.
Yeah, it's got to be an English city, right? I don't know.
Where's Prince Charles from? I don't actually know. No, I don't give.
Anti-royal family.
So I know that I know I've got a guess, but like I don't want to get because I don't want to lose any more points.
It's only 100. Do you want to throw out that guess?
I thought he was from.
This has to be where Isaac Hirschberger's from, though. Like that just makes. It's called the
I
greatest
mean, is
city.
it not just
Oh, it's not Prince Charles. It's Dominic West is a native of this city.
Oh,
not
yeah,
Prince Charles.
In Netflix, Grand Prince
All
Charles.
right. Should I just go? Should I just reveal the
I thought it
answer?
was-
No one wants to risk a guess.
I don't know if fucking Dominic. I don't know who
Well,
Dominic West
yeah,
is.
I was thinking of just where the crown is taking place, so I'm thinking just London. But
All
if
right,
it's where
well,
Dominic West,
I was
is
thinking
from,
like where.
We'll
Prince
just
I
reveal
have
the
no
answer.
idea.
Sheffield.
He's from Sheffield. That's crazy.
That's so joke.
crazy.
Bro, about to link up after this episode.
I really thought it was just
Wow.
gonna be fucking celebrity name mashup for 100.
How is he not giving me questions of films I've seen if he's from the same place? Should we give me like 4 lions and shit?
The first is the lead singer of Aerosmith.
Wait, what is
and
this?
Has a celebrity name mashup. The first is the lead singer of Aerosmith and has a famous actress for a daughter. The second is a highly educated and has degrees from Penn State, Wisconsin, and Arizona. Hey, I know this one.
I don't know what. I couldn't name one Aerosmith song. I have no idea what they are. don't
Okay, I mean, I don't think this is it, but okay.
This
got
is
it.
100.
All right, Seth, or George.
Is a highly educated and has degrees. God, who is? God, this is gonna be such a stupid guess if it's not right. Who is Steven Tyler Perry?
Close. Who is Steven Tyler Whitmore?
Oh, fuck off!
That's funny.
Yeah, I forgot.
Next.
That's funny.
Next up.
Oh my God! All right, celebrity name mashup for 200.
I love that I'm a celebrity in his eyes. The first already won an Oscar for Best Actress at age 22. The second has starred with Keanu Reeves in both the Matrix and John Wick franchises. I got this one.
Wait, what are we doing?
Celebrity
Oh,
name
okay.
mashup.
What? Who won an Oscar at 22? And then
I feel like one of you guys have got to get this one.
I really don't know. The second is starred with Keanu.
I think I know I think I know the Best Actress
in
one.
both John Wick franchises.
So think of her last name. What's that first name of? Who's been in John Wick and the Matrix?
I can't.
Trying to lead you guys
no
there.
Clue.
All right, we'll call it there. It is who is
Yeah.
Jennifer Lawrence Fishburne.
Wow.
Oh,
my
shit.
God. She was 22.
She won an
when
Oscar at
that?
22. That's
No.
crazy.
I didn't realize
Silver
she was
Linings
22.
Next
I didn't know
up.
she
I was thinking a
22.
completely different actress.
I
so
was
thinking
not.
some-
Yeah, I was like Kate Winslet. I was like, what the fuck? All right. Let's go.
I was
Portrayals
thinking
of the
Carrie Ann
past
Moss.
for 200.
Portrayals of the Past for 200. This former British Prime Minister has been portrayed by a host of acclaimed actors, including John Lithgow, Gary Oldman, and Brian Cox.
Oh my God. Who did Gary Oldman just?
Who did Gary Oldman play?
Oh, my
Got it.
Seth.
Winston Churchill.
God.
I believe that is right.
Who is Winston
Yeah,
Churchill?
I'll give it to you.
Sorry.
I'm not a Jeopardy stickler with that. Who is, what is nonsense.
Get it right next time, bro.
Seth,
When did John
next
Lithgow
category.
play him?
Yeah. When did John Lithgow play?
That's an
I have
interesting
no
casting.
idea.
That's an interesting casting. Seth, next category.
I'll go Portrayals of the Past 500.
Portrayals of the Past 500. John Wayne was shockingly cast as a historical ruler, widely considered one of the worst castings of all time.
Oh no!
I know this, but I don't know the name of the guy, but I know like the controversy.
Oh God.
I know the
Got it,
country.
got
I
it,
can't
got
remember
it.
who it is.
George.
Got it. Who is Genghis Khan?
I believe that is right.
Shit,
Yeah,
man.
that shit
Who
was
is
very
Genghis
good.
Khan?
Fuck.
George, next category.
I'll go celebrity name mashup for 300.
I'm so bad.
It is still
one.
it is still anyone's game though. It is still anyone's game. Like honestly, Seth can still win this
it's not.
score mathematically.
It's
The first played the
you
protagonist.
did five.
in
You did 500.
Isn't that what he said?
No, I said 300.
Well, the first played the
The box.
protagonist in Christopher Nolan's first studio theatrical release. The second had a 4-movie run playing one of the Britain's most iconic characters.
I can't remember what the guy's name was in that film.
Oh, got it.
I got it too. George.
Really?
Who is Guy Pearce Brosnan?
Yep, that's correct. Who is Guy?
Oh,
Pearce Brosnan?
studio theatrical release.
I know that tripped me
Yeah,
up
I
too.
was-
at first.
I was thinking
I'm
the
thinking of
following.
following.
I was like, who the
Oh,
fuck was in the following?
It took me a second.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Yeah, I'll go celebrity name mashup for 300.
Celebrity name mashup 300. The first starred alongside Bryan Cranston in Breaking Bad. The second plays the main villain in the movie that George has logged 10 times in 18 months on Letterboxd.
Got it.
George.
Who is Aaron Paul Dano?
And Paul Dano. Yeah, great. Yeah. I hate this fucking game. I hate it. I'm so shit.
Next time we do this, I want Seth the host, just because I think it'll be wild for like Cam, me, and George's like lag time of answering questions, and then we get to see what he feels of us being all.
No, I want people in the comments to tell me that I've been unfairly unjust in this game. I should have. In the first two, I should have at least.
It was only 2 times where you said
which were 500 and 300. So at least give me some pride here.
All
I won't win. Don't get me wrong. I won't win, but like
George, next category.
Celebrity name mashup for 400.
Oh, celebrity name mashup 400. The first has starred in multiple films for both Fincher and Tarantino, as well as one for Chazelle, and the second is a rapper that hails himself as Mr. Worldwide.
Got it.
Seth.
Who is Brad Pitbull?
Yep. good work.
Yeah. I like that one.
400.
Yay.
I feel like that one was a little easier than a 400. Just saying.
Yeah.
Seth. Seth, your next category.
400 Betrayals of the Past.
Betrayals of the Past 400. Tom Hardy and Robert De Niro have both portrayed this infamous American criminal.
Got it.
Seth.
Damn.
Got it. Who is Al Capone?
Yeah, good one.
Nice. I did not know that one.
Good pull.
Seth,
I'm going to get in the positives. Just let me get in the positives. Which one should I go for? 300 Betrayals of the Past, please.
This famous military commander has been played by both Marlon Brando and Ian Holm and is the subject of a highly anticipated biopic yet to be released.
Oh, shit. Oh, no.
No idea.
I can't remember the name.
I
Go
got
on.
zero.
I can't remember.
I have literally
The only commander
I saw some of this video.
who I know one of these guys is playing, I do not think is like a real person, but maybe I'm wrong. No one got
Give
it.
It's
Colin
Who is
Powell.
Napoleon?
Oh, and is subject to a highly anticipated biopic. We're stupid.
My mind went straight to
dumb as
General Kurtz. I was like,
grapes.
is General Kurtz a real famous military commander?
We're
Marlon
so
Brando.
stupid.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
stupid.
Yeah,
That's stupid.
well, that was fun. Again, thank you for Isaac
Wow.
Hirschberger for making this. Very fun, and we love that you make these, and always such creative categories. So please make more, and
Yeah, of
next time we'll have either Seth host or George host to keep switching it up to keep other people playing. But yeah, that ends our Jeopardy session. Let me see if I can do this without breaking the recording. So stop sharing screen. Shout out to 7mod Jeffy, Alexander Biscardi, Ben Leggy, Ben Hansey, Cody Whitney, Dakota Buckner, Dean Cotamanidis, Dylan Chip, Ferdinando 4, Jimmy O'Connor, Jordan Gagg, Josh Hines, Casper, Luke Deerhog, Raem Bate, Reese David, Remy Walker, Rocco 1.0, Robert Leo Gislason, Sean Morales, Stefan Johnson, Trey Artsy, Will Kim, and Zach Graves. Shout out to all of you. Also, Raem, I hope I pronounced your name right. You shouted me out in a message saying like, here's how to actually pronounce my name. So I welcome all of you who's on the executive producers. Discord me, DM me. Let me know if I mispronounced your name wrong because I want to get them right. And you know, sometimes it's tough, especially because we have listeners all over the world.
R.I.P. to Josh K's camping chair.
Wait, what's that?
What?
You don't need to know this.
Inside joke. Fair enough.
It's you don't need to know. They'll know.
I don't even know who that is. Is that one of our patrons or Discord?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
Well, yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know if you're like if you just saw something on Twitter of like some like celebrity something that happened, but
no, it's in the MMA chat. It's one of our most active Discord. See, this is another reason. If you like UFC, MMA, we're always active in our Patreon Discord, and there's so many of us who just speak about that nonstop all day. So there's another reason.
I'm pretty active in the American football Discord as well. So like we talk more than just movies. Obviously, there's a ton of movie content discussion that goes on daily, but there's other stuff in there too. So definitely check out our Patreon and the links down below if you want to get involved. So with that, I'll just say thank you all for listening to this episode of the ReelTok Podcast. Was a little all over the place, but I hope you had fun hearing some movie reviews, movie news, Jeopardy, some stories about our lives. So hope you enjoyed today's episode. Leave a like and comment if you enjoyed this kind of less structured, just like kind of all over the place episode, or if you like it more when we're more rigid and by the book for what we're talking about each episode. But hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Follow us on Spotify and Apple. We'll see you in the next one.